Chances are you haven't been to this place. Chances are this is a place you've never seen. Other than maybe blurry cell phone videos, old black and white newsreels from World War II. Chances are bad things were happening in the footage you saw. Myanmar, after 50 years of nightmare, something unexpected is happening here, and it's pretty incredible.
I took a walk through this beautiful world, felt the cool rain on my shoulder, found something good in this beautiful world. I felt the rain getting colder. Sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la.
In Yangon, capital city of Myanmar, it's dark. Blackouts are frequent with the ancient power grid. What sources of light there are in the street cast an eerie yellow-orange hue. For almost 100 years under British rule, this was Rangoon. In 1948, after helping the British fight off the Japanese, and with a new taste for self-determination, the country gained independence. After a decade of instability, however, the military consolidated power and never let go. Elections, they came and went. The results ignored, opposition punished, or silenced entirely. Burma, now Myanmar, where Orwell had once served as a colonial policeman, where he'd first grown to despise the apparatus of a security state, became more Orwellian than even he could have imagined. A nation where even having an opinion could be dangerous.
I am very honored to be here at this university and to be the first president of the United States of America to visit your country.
Morning in Yangon. To nearly everyone's surprise, there have been some huge changes in recent months.
The most difficult time in any transition is when we think that success is in sight.
Nobel Prize-winning democracy champion Aung San Suu Kyi, for nearly 15 years under house arrest, was released and has now taken an active role in politics. Just as the door is opening, my crew and I are among the first to record what has been unseen for decades by most of the world. Meanwhile, this Southeast Asian country of 80 million people is collectively holding its breath, waiting to see what's next, and will this loosening of government grip last? Of course, morning in Yangon has always been about tea. It's black, Indian-style tea, usually with a thick dollop of sweetened condensed milk. You want it sweet, less sweet, very sweet, strong, less strong. Everybody's got a preference. Everybody's got a preferred tea shop where they know, presumably, how you like yours.
I said normally less sweet and a bit strong.
Journalist and publisher Utia Saw. We meet at the Seitai Cha tea shop.
Anything could happen in a tea shop. This place means a lot of things, not just a place for breakfast and snacks.
For 50 years of paranoia and repression, tea houses were also the main forum for guarded and not so guarded discussions of the daily news, where you tried to piece together the real stories behind the ludicrously chopped and censored newspapers. Carefully, of course, because informers and secret police were also heavily represented in these hotbeds of sedition and discontent.
So, given your profession, how have you managed to stay out of prison all of these years?
No, I was there.
Oh, really?
Two times.
2 times.
One special ground police called me. Hey, Utia Saw, would you please come into the office? We need to talk.
Right.
So I went over there, And that total lost 89 days in the prison. There was this very serious control that came with the first military government, press scrutiny and registration department. So
That doesn't sound good.
we need to send in our copies to that office and then take a look at everything. They would say you take this out, take that out, or black this out, or just take the whole story out.
Magazines that would come into the country they'd literally cut out the pieces.
People under this kind of tight censorship, people become more, I think, creative. Take a look, careful reading. There may be something between the lines, messages.
Something you were accused of, sending secret messages.
In the back, a cauldron of salty little fish bubble over hardwood coals. Fingers work mountains of sweet bean, one of the fillings for the variety of pastries that are stuffed, shaped, and put into an old stone oven. In another corner, the heartening slap of fresh bread pressed against the clay wall of a tandoori. And of course, eggs bob and spin in the magical hell broth of fish, spice, and herb.
Mohinga? This I must have. Correct me if I'm wrong. If there's a national dish, a fundamental, most beloved dish, would it be this?
Yeah, for example, take a look at all these foodstuff. This is Indian, these are Chinese, etc. But then mohinga is a local thing, and it's popular not in the city, but also in the rural areas too. You know, a fish paste with some rice noodles. Maybe with sometimes we put in some crispies like fried beans or fried goat. So these are some coriander leaves.
Yeah.
You can mix some limes.
Sprinkle some in here. Good textures. Particularly in the light of Obama's recent visit, these are interesting times. Significant changes for the first time in 50 years.
Yeah. There's one thing which is quite significant. For example, take a look around, all kinds of people, all age groups. Let's say a couple of years ago, people would be, if you're talking about politics, you tone down.
Right.
Maybe you were whispering. But nowadays, people speak more, or people more outspoken. So the society become much more open. In last July, they started relaxing the rules about censorship. August 20th, we were called into that PSRD office. We mean publishers, editors. And the Director General of the department said, the boss, okay, 48 years and 20 days of censorship is gone. That's it.
Feel good?
Yeah. That's what we've been waiting for so many years.
I love the answer. It's a careful yes.
Yeah. First, people within the country, we have some doubt about, okay, is it real, the changes and the reforms? But as now it's about a couple of years, and then now people start believing that, oh, maybe it's real. The process is still very young, but it's still possible. When the generals stop and think, okay, that's enough is enough, let's turn back, or let's stop. I'm optimistic about the changes and the reforms, but I'm still cautiously optimistic.
In Yangon, motorbikes are outlawed. Why is a matter of much rumor and speculation. So it's the bus for me. Something seems almost out of sync. Not too long ago, even filming here, officially as an open professional Western film crew, would have been unthinkable. In 2007, a Japanese journalist was shot point blank and killed filming a street demonstration. Be seen talking to anybody with a camera, and there would likely be a knock on your door in the middle of the night. Yet so far, confronted with our cameras, a few smiles, and mostly indifference at worst. Shocking considering how recently the government has started to relax its grip.
We love to eat, and don't forget, for 50 years we were under two dictatorships, and especially under the socialist era, not a lot of things to do. But cook and share food and,
This is Ma Thengi, a famous and very controversial figure in public life.
Myanmar or Burma?
Myanmar, because that's the original name since the 13th century.
Ma Thengi, like U Tia Saw, has also spent time in prison. But on emerging after 3 years, she became, in the minds of many, an apologist for the regime. Fairly or not, I leave to others.
Sometimes outsiders act as if, it's only after the military junta went away that, things happen. First we were sort of like in a frozen state, like Snow White, dead.
But her many well-known books on the culinary traditions of Myanmar make her a compelling advocate for Burmese cuisine.
So you're very passionate about the cooking and the cuisine here, and
Well, it's just that I like to eat, and I eat like a pig.
This is Yangon's Feel Restaurant.
Salads, I think, are the best of our food. I'm going to order a lot of salads that you haven't had. It's going to be like a sort of a tasting thing.
There's pig head salad with kaffir lime leaf, long bean salad with sesame and fish sauce, penny leaf salad, even this salad of India-style samosa.
everything's out there at the same time.
Yes.
No first course, second course.
No. If I'm invited to a friend's house, the table would be covered with dishes.
Right.
Covered.
And it's really about the interaction between a lot of colors, textures, and flavors in
Yes,
one dish, or
Different.
different.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm in love. That's good.
Yes, it is.
And of course, there's the maddeningly delicious condiments and pickles with which to make each dish your own.
You make a lot of different combinations with each mouthful.
And this is something very confusing in general in this part of the world. Everybody eats everything differently, very much to their taste.
Anything goes.
Anything goes.
You make every mouthful you can make as different as you want.
Credit cards accepted almost nowhere. Cash machines? Wi-Fi? Internet? Rare. 3G? You gotta be kidding. If you need to exchange money here, only crisp, absolutely new $100 bills accepted. In Myanmar, it's another, older world. Oh, and what's up with this?
With all the kissing sounds, that smooching, kissing, sound that you're hearing all over the place. My wife would have been in like 10 fights so far. Sorry, who you smooching at? Bitch?
This is how you summon a waiter in Myanmar. I know. Try that at Hooters and you will be rightly ejected. It takes some getting used to for sure. Min Lane is a big, noisy seafood house where fish is prepared in the style of Yakan, the coastal province to the west, named for the Yakan people, one of over 135 distinct ethnic groups around here.
See, now we're talking. Prawn curry is one of those things everybody tells you got to eat here. Prawns from the river, the tomato curry. Try this. Good sauce. Oh, that's good. That is some good shit, my friends. We shall know them by the number of their dead.
Early morning in Yangon. Among the crush of commuters, shoppers, people trying to make a living, rise up the last remnants of empire. Faded, often crumbling, but still there after all these years. These are the offices, businesses, and public buildings of the British colonials. The Sofarer building was once one of the swankest department stores in Rangoon. A century ago, when Kipling's poem Mandalay was beckoning the overheated imaginations of a generation of young Englishmen, here you could buy fine Egyptian cigarettes, French liqueurs. The floor tiles were shipped over from Manchester. Now, people live here. A half-century as a pariah state has left very few of these buildings in good repair, and there are divergent views on whether to preserve them. For many, a reminder of colonial subjugation. For others, a vestige of a golden time. These days in Myanmar, in the streets, on the docks, it's all about moving forward. In an economy ripe to explode if things continue trending in their current direction, the busy hustle and bustle of Yangon's port appears even busier today as workers prepare for the oncoming holiday.
Hey, chef.
How are you doing? It figures, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Welcome to Myanmar.
Philippe Lajoni, owner, proprietor of my old restaurant, Leal.
It seems only natural that you'd be in Burma, Myanmar at the same time as me.
Back before anything, before I wrote the book that changed my life from broke-ass utility-grade chef to whatever it is I am today, I'd never been to Asia until this guy sent me to Japan and got me hooked on a continent.
Well, there we go.
Oh, nice. Chicken head, yeah.
That is the perfect mood awakener.
Oh, yeah.
Philippe travels constantly. He's been bouncing around Asia for decades. Like all good travelers, he's relentlessly curious and without fear or prejudice.
It's fantastic.
It makes perfect sense then that over cold brew and chicken necks in the port of Yangon, Philippe is the one joining me to explore this particular moment in Myanmar.
That's the money tree.
Oh, it is going to be a party.
Yeah.
Full moon party tonight.
Full moon party.
Now,
that's
what
right.
that means, we have no idea.
We don't know. There's only one way to find out, I suppose. Well, it sounds like a party.
Oh, it gets crazy from now on.
It's Tzongdai, Full Moon Day, a holiday marking the end of the rainy season. And today marks the beginning of 3 days of Break Out the Crazy. Giant speakers compete for attention, everybody cheerfully oblivious to the distortion. Cotton candy, trinkets, tube socks, just like a New York street fair, but with infinitely better food.
Oh, these are little birds?
Yeah. These guys are really good. Was flying just a bit earlier this morning.
I'll tell you, it's the backbone of every street fair in the world, isn't it? Deep fried food.
That's right. And here they also have the little batter where they break a quail egg in it. One shot, it's pretty good. That's it, he's happy? All right. This is so tasty. Much less greasy than I thought it would be. In fact, rather delicate.
Yeah, anytime you tell me crispy little bird, I'm all over it.
Good head. Good beak, too.
Good beak.
Crispy and tender.
Oh, and they have rides. Check this out. Okay, it's a Ferris wheel, but the power source, not unusual for these parts, is not electric, it ain't gas.
Oh, man, are you kidding me?
It's human power.
You have to see it to believe it.
An absolutely insanely dangerous, closely choreographed process of first getting the giant, heavily laden wheel in motion and then getting it up to top speed and keeping it there.
Wow, look at this thing tilting out, too.
And that's the break. 3 guys the other way.
Note the footwear, by the way. And it's not just this one. Every couple of blocks, bigger and bigger Ferris wheels, each one with its own troupe of acrobatic spinners. And sure, going for a ride is tempting, but...
CNN host implicated in death of 4 underage carnies. Guess the thing just came off the hinges, and next thing you know is rolling down the street and sending those kids flying. If I'd had any idea, I never would have taken the ride, says Bourdain. No, I don't think so.
Hard making a buck. But again and again, the seats are loaded with smiling families, the team climbs aboard, and the circus begins again.
Good luck. May you return to Earth safely with all of your limbs intact.
Next day of the Full Moon Festival. And whether you're looking out the window at a rural village or at the streets of Yangon, what's happening is probably pretty similar. A tableau of dancing, body painting, car-mounted speakers blasting. But it's also 3 days of merit accruing, the practice of performing charitable or otherwise good works in the hopes of jacking up your karma. Money trees are paraded around pinned with cash donations for monks. Free banquets and feasts are held, and many moments of spiritual reflection. The majority of people here practice Theravada Buddhism, the oldest, most conservative form of the religion, which simply put asserts that existence is pretty much a continuous cycle of suffering through birth, death, and rebirth.
Noisy.
Very noisy, yes.
The Morning Star Tea House, where I've come, well, for a couple of reasons. Reason one, the must-have, bone-deep, old-school favorite around here, La Pet Toque, a salad of fermented tea leaves. I know, that does not sound good, but you'd be wrong to think that. Take the fermented tea leaves, add cabbage, tomatoes, lots and lots of crunchy bits like toasted peanuts, season with lime and fish sauce.
This is absolutely delicious.
You like it?
Oh, yeah, it's fantastic.
Yes, fantastic.
Simple, delicious. Things not to be taken for granted if you've been in and out of the joint like this guy, Zarni Bo, activist, astrologer, and 3 times convict.
Yeah, everyone I've met in this country so far, in fact, has been to prison. It
Yes,
seems
this happens again and again for us in Myanmar.
almost six years.
6 years,
About
nearly
six
6 years. All the judgments are made by the Kangaroo Code. The Navy, Army, and the Air Force, these 3 officials are sitting all together. They read off, this is your sentence, like
Right.
that. It happens, only minutes, like that.
What is life like inside prison?
Nice, very nice.
I have a hard time believing
You
that.
know, very nice. We can talk to each other, you know, saying some things and use a mirror to look each other. It's very
Access to
nice.
books?
No book, no writing thing, no paper. No, nothing at all. A mat and a blanket and a plate and a bowl.
Right.
Only these are the things that we possess.
How's
Think
the
about
food?
that.
The food in prison?
Soup, rice with pea soup. Only 1 meat meal for a week. That's on Thursday. Do you know that in prison, in insane prison, all the fish has no body, only the head and the tail. No middle part. I can look like this.
So there is hope for this country, in your view, yes?
Yes. Especially with the Buddhist belief, you know, how to live in situations. Dictators, you know, and the political pressures or even discrimination, everything is happening to us. But the Buddhists say, okay, that's about past life love. If we go do something, okay, next life will be good.
There's something pretty cool about meeting people who've been for so long unable to speak, now so unguarded about their hopes and their feelings. Sizzling meats, the clink of beer glasses, ringing bicycle bells. This is Yangon's 19th Street. Does Yangon rock? Can it rock?
90th Street is like a must-go place when you are in Yangon.
Meet Burmese punk rockers Side Effect and lead singer Darko.
You can come here anytime. There will be lots of people like here.
So if you sit here long enough, you'll see every musician in town.
Yeah, you can say that.
The citywide curfew used to mean close your doors at 11 p.m. Most shops and restaurants still close early, but not here on 19th Street, where you could eat barbecue late into the night.
Wow. What do we have here? What is grilled tofu?
Yeah, this is pork too.
Pork tail. Oh, yeah. This barbecue is awesome.
These young men show exactly how determined you've got to be to rock, especially in Burma.
I like to say my early influence was Nirvana, and then Sex Pistols, Ramones, and stuff like that.
What American bands do you hate?
Personally, Creed.
Yes.
Yeah.
They are like the worst band in the history of like the world. So what's it like having an indie band in Myanmar? Is it difficult?
For sure, yeah. Before you record the song, so like when you got the lyrics, you gotta submit the lyrics. So they're gonna censor it. They're gonna check it, and even sometimes they will suggest you some words to change.
Oh, that must be funny.
Very funny, actually.
Now, is that still the case?
No, it's not like that anymore. They're not gonna censor you, but it's gonna be kind of risky because you don't know what's gonna happen to you if you write and sing something wrong.
So let me ask this: if all your dreams came true, where would you want to play?
New York City.
You want to go to New York City?
Of course, it's my dream. You just need to be strong. So that's what I keep telling my bandmates. So, come on, be strong, have faith. So
I hope people reach out to you because making rock and roll is hard enough. Truly independent rock and roll is even harder, and I'm guessing that making it here is harder still. So, gentlemen, you deserve some success. People should hear you.
So you heard the sleeping car lost the wheel.
The what?
The sleeping car lost the wheel, and the dining car. So we get.
Well, no, we lost the dining car here.
We lost the dining car, but even our original sleeping car lost the wheel. So we just have to hope for the best.
The night express to Bagan. 600 kilometers of what will turn out to be kidney-softening travel by rail. But Bagan, Myanmar's ancient capital, I've been told, is a must-see.
The true Old English experience. The engine is a French engine from the 70s.
We've been told it's a somewhat uncomfortable 10-hour trip.
So really the question on this end of the journey is, come back on the train or flying coffin?
Mishaps on both Burmese planes and trains are not, shall we say, unheard of.
The Widowmaker Express.
That is the choice. So that may be the signal to depart at some point.
Yep, all aboard. Whoa, we're moving. Here we go.
Here we go. Well, that's it. We have reached cruising speed.
Really? This is cruising speed? We
Just
think?
happened.
You could literally outrun this train.
We could jog ahead, have a nice meal in some, recommended restaurant.
We could catch up with it.
It's like the digestive walk. There we go. This is stop number 1 of 75.
Heading north, the scenery opens up. The space between things gets wider, more pastoral, and more beautiful. Looking around at my fellow passengers, it could be hard to distinguish between the 135-plus ethnic groups that make up the Burmese population. The very name Burma refers actually to only one of these groups. What they all seem to have in common, however, is tanika, a face paint and sunblock made from tree bark that masks many of their faces. It's ubiquitous here. At first jarring to see, it quickly becomes something you get used to and take for granted. Yangon's gravitational pull broken, and with darkness falling, the train picks up speed. At times, terrifyingly so.
I mean, this thing is going to derail at some point. They have lost how many wheels yesterday on this one train? So truly, it's about being in the right car, the one that keeps its wheel.
Derailments, or rail slips as they are referred to here, a somewhat more benign sounding occurrence than, say, rolling off the tracks into a rice paddy, are not uncommon. And one can't help wondering what the engineer and conductor are thinking as the train speeds heedlessly on, faster and faster.
I mean, it must be, what, about 40, 50 miles per hour at this point.
What if anyone has ever like flown right out of their seat out the window?
Yeah, small people, sure.
You don't want to be like holding a lap dog.
Or a baby, or anything. I mean,
Try pissing in the bathroom and find yourself launched straight up into the ceiling, bringing to a rude conclusion what was already an omnidirectional experience.
Smooth now. It's very relaxing.
what kind of beer did he have? I want the same.
Done. Now, this is breakfast.
Nearly 19 hours into our 10-hour trip, and the night express to Bagan lurches and bounces onward over old and poorly maintained tracks.
I'm gonna flow back to New York for breakfast. I had time. What's in yours?
Carrots, wood.
I got potatoes.
How to make good food pretty. Look at this.
A bouquet of fish.
Indeed. So this is it, this the plain of Bagan.
Out the window, the modern world seems to fade away, then disappear altogether, like the last century never happened, or even the century before that. We're traveling across the largest mainland nation in Southeast Asia. But it should be pointed out that we are still within the confines of the tourist triangle, areas permissible for travel. Whole sectors of this country, much of it in fact, are off limits. Simply put, there is shit going on they do not want you to see. A low-intensity conflict with the ethnic Kachin tribe would be one of them. A wave of persecution and deaths in Rakhine State. The country may be opening up at its center, but all along the edges, it's waging a desperate war to hang on to the status quo. Needless to say, the status quo is not good.
All right. Bagan, here we come.
A 1,000 years ago, Bagan was the capital for a long line of Burma kings. It's the sort of place where the old coexists with the even older. As elsewhere in this part of the world, in many of the Buddhist temples here, far older animist, spirit-based beliefs coexist with more recent Buddhism. And in Myanmar, worship of the Nats is widespread. Nats, as I understand it, are more like Greek gods, former humans, demigods, spirits, often with very human qualities and failings. Dance performances pay homage to the individual Nats, performers claiming to actually channel them, bringing about, one hopes, a beneficial spiritual possession. But I'm not just here for a Nat Pue. I have a list, things to eat in Myanmar, and this is one of them, chicken curry. And from roadside joints like this, nestled among the temple ruins, you're more than likely to catch a very enticing whiff.
Just delicious. Spicy, but not to the point that you want to scream out for mercy, but some heat.
Slow-simmered curry served with a side of sour soup made from roselle leaves. With it, you get fried ground chilies, pickled bean sprouts. You get the idea.
They always have like these relishes, these dippy type things, these like really interesting salads, and I'm like not really a salad guy. The salads here are, they're happening. Spicy, sour, salty, savory, just delicious, it's delicious. A plethora of textures and flavors. This is a culture that's thought a lot about their food, clearly like eating, like feeding people. I think a lot about those classic balances of flavors, colors, and textures. Best restaurant in the country so far, by the way.
You'd expect this, an ancient city of nearly unparalleled size and beauty, to be overrun with tourists, souvenir shops, snack bars, tours on tape. But no.
Oh, this is stunning.
You'll encounter some Western travelers at Bagan's temple sites for sure, but generally speaking, they're a hardy bunch. Even the bus tours here are not for the faint of heart or the weak of spirit. But for the most part, you're far more likely to bump into a goat than a foreigner.
This is so beautiful, so much like an ode to human, beliefs and adoration and worshiping and
Slave labor.
and slave labor.
I'm thinking, you build this many temples, thousands of them in a relatively short period of time, chances are somebody who's working for less than minimum wage, let's put it that way.
For sure. Ah, we could fly here. Look at that.
A millennia ago, in a period of just under 250 years, over 4,000 structures like this were built here. They say that a Burma king, Anarata, began this project after a conversion to Theravada-style Buddhism.
They started a new temple like every 14 days.
Over 3,000 pagodas, temples, and monasteries remain today. Inside almost every one of them, a Buddha figure, each one different.
And I like how integrated it is with the trees, pastures, and...
Actually, funny you should mention that. People used to live here, but the government came along in the 80s, I believe, and relocated. It was a mass relocation project. So any homes, anything, it was understood this is a good, there's some tourist bucks here. They've relocated the entire population. We're in one of the first mass waves of tourists. European tourists have been coming here in relatively small numbers for a long time, but the floodgates have certainly opened. They're building hotels like crazy around this area, what's called the tourist triangle.
What is this here? Oh, this is a nice car.
As Myanmar begins its shift towards accommodating increasing tourism and a service economy to go with it, there will be adjustments. There will be, of course, a downside.
How much you paid?
What's that going to mean? How will Burmese react to all of the good and evils that come with tourism?
Okay, mister, what about you buy one? Okay.
Perfect.
It's going to mean mobility. It's going to mean prosperity for some. It'll mean a lot of bad things too. You know, it'll mean prostitution, it'll mean hustling.
Okay, my boss
Thank you very much. All your help for the children.
And you too.
Everybody tell it to you, you buy Longi, you buy Brandy, you buy Lakawia, you buy
I know.
But you don't buy Busca now, there's no fair. You buy Busca also
But I
fair.
don't need the postcard.
We're told that kids are dropping out of school to do this, the double-edged sword of the service economy.
You want to buy Busca for only $5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
What I'm amazed is how friendly and open people are with us. It's very easy for me to sit here and say whatever I want about the government, right? We can go home. You know, our lives will go on. We don't pay the price for that show. Everybody who helped us could very well pay that price. It should be pointed out that a lot of people did not. A lot of people were very nice to us, but said, look, I've already been in jail. You know, I really don't want to go back. It's a very real concern. What happens to the people we leave behind? You know, one would think that you can't, once freedom, you know, they've tasted freedom, you know. Well, you know, you can put the toothpaste back in the tube, you know, there's no doubt about that.
But for the moment at least, things seem to be moving in the right direction. A country closed off to most for so long, sleeping, a 50-year nightmare for many of its citizens, finally, maybe, waking up. To what? Time will tell. Mexico is a country where every day people fight to live. All too often, they lose that battle. A magnificent, heartbreakingly beautiful country with music and food and a uniquely Mexican, darkly funny, deeply felt worldview. Right down there, cuddled up beneath us, our brother from another mother.
I took a walk through this beautiful world. Felt the cool rain on my shoulder. Found something good in this beautiful world. I felt the rain getting colder. Sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la.
Holy Mother of Santa Muerte, please protect my stash of cocaine. Let it not be interfered with by the cops or the competition. Let any who would mess with me be killed. My enemies destroyed. Please forgive us our sins, for they are many. So, is business good? I mean, are there more murders, particularly narco murders?
Va en ascenso, va en aumento. La gente opta o por poner un comercio o por vender droga, porque la droga te reditúa dinero muy rápido, ¿no? Entonces, va a haber y va a ir incrementando, ¿no?, la cantidad de muertes relacionadas con esto.
Every day, Mexico wakes up to count the dead. They are, after all, left out to be seen. Often with a helpful note, identifying who done what, and generally speaking, why. There is a language to the never-ending violence, a coded message in the twists and marks of the bodies. And Valente Rosas is one of the many documenting them for the press. This is what he does every night. Rides around waiting for a phone call or a radio message telling him that there's another one.
So who's buying drugs? Who's selling drugs to who?
Antes se importaba gran cantidad se llevaba gran cantidad de droga a Estados Unidos, pero ya hay tanto consumo nacional que ya también una parte importante de esa droga se queda en México. Pero bueno, a diferencia de Estados Unidos, todavía estamos bien, por llamarle así, ¿no? Ya ves que en Estados Unidos, puta, hay cada loco que se agarra a matar gente y cosas así, está grueso, ¿no?
Here you kill each other for a reason. It's business?
Sí.
More Mexican civilians have been killed since 2006 than all the American military lost in 10 years of the Vietnam War and 8 years of wars in Iraq.
So what do you do if you're one of these cops? You're driving around one night, you see some guy outside of a bar beating somebody or disturbing the peace. You start to arrest him, and he's got a diamond-studded pistol, it's got his name on it. Now you realize you just arrested somebody with serious, powerful connections. What do you do?
Pues lo dejan libre, ¿no?
You let him go?
Sí.
Why do they always pull their pants down?
Es como el bajarle el pantalón a una
Our
persona.
local fixer, Alex, is here to translate.
In this case, he thinks that they pull the pants down, so check for weapons.
They're loading him into the sheet.
This is the CSI team. So when they were pulling his pants off, money and jewelry started falling from the pockets. Basically, they took the money out of his pockets, and that was the only available spot.
To show that they didn't take anything.
Yeah, exactly. So this is also a drug dealer. The thing here in Mexico is as soon as someone is killed, normally they get candles just right next to it. Sometimes Santa Muerte is related to drug dealings and criminals.
How long have you been doing this?
Como...
About 9 years.
How many bodies do you think?
No lo sé.
Hundreds?
Sí, quizá.
How do you push them out of your mind when you're not working?
Lo hace uno como un trabajo. Simplemente
A lot of people ask him about this, but he said like it's a job, not like any other kind of job. But as soon as he gets home, he just take this cover off and just keep living.
Well, that's a terrible picture. Just that's sad. What happened here?
Esta elefanta pertenecía
There was
al
an
circo.
elephant called Hilda.
Se escapó.
She ran away from a circus, so she basically was crossing the highway and big bus just ran over it.
Atropellan.
The world we live in now, of all of these pictures, this is the one that would get people most upset. You'd get the most mail, the most, oh my God, you know, what kind of a world do we live in?
Pero esta foto...
This was probably the most viewed picture from different media around the world.
80,000 Mexicans have died in the last, 7 years in narco violence?
And this is the most important picture.
As our crew gets ready to crawl back to our hotel, Valente gets the call we thought we'd been waiting for. One dead male, shot in head. A note pinned to his chest.
No tiene mucha señal esta madre.
In Mexico, people fight to live every day. One man stands alone, facing another man. His intent? To beat his opponent with his fists until he can resist no more. A match, yes, but more accurately, a fight. Jorge La Sierva is a former bantamweight title holder. With his father, Jorge Sr., and his son Alexis, he trains aspiring fighters in this gym in the Santa Anita neighborhood of Mexico City. He knows that these young men, like generations of boxers everywhere from other neighborhoods like this, are looking for a way out.
In Mexico City, boxing is kind of like save your life. You know what I mean? Boxing, they give you like a little discipline.
Let's say you're good, but you're not that good. Can you make a living just being a contender?
No, but a lot of fighters, they try to make it. Tons of boxers. They want to be a champion.
So everybody wants to be a champion.
Everybody. Everybody wants to get for the big shot, but you know, it's just one.
Those are bad odds. The history of boxing is not kind. I mean, most managers and promoters, they don't really give a shit about the fighters.
They don't.
They use them up, but at the end, they leave a guy all broken down, no money, and scrambles brains.
We just like a prostitutes. You know what I mean?
In this area, what are your options? If you drop out of high school?
Nothing. It's just like being on the street, snatching, you know, robbing, and a lot of kids in the hood, they're gonna say, hey, let's go kidnap that guy.
Big industry.
Everybody here now wants to be a soccer player or a boxer because they make money here.
Who's got a longer career, a narco or a boxer?
I don't know. Might be 50-50. I mean, narco, you can last longer.
You can.
You know, you're protected by the police. You just paid off. Nobody's gonna touch you.
Expensive protein shakes and dietary supplements? Not so much. Boxers here eat what they can afford.
The food here is good and it's cheap. You know, in Mexico, there's no middle class here.
You're either poor or you're really, really rich.
I mean, it's a crazy thing. The minimum wage here is like 50, 60 pesos, which is like a $5. Not an hour, a day.
But on the other hand, that's why Mexican fighters are so exciting. They're hungry.
Exactly. We're hungry.
México 72, en vivo.
Tepito is a city within a city. Its own thing. Either the dark center or the beating heart of Mexico City, depending on your point of view. It's the home of Santa Muerte, the skeletal Saint Death. This is where they come. The impoverished, the oppressed, the marginalized, the criminal. People for whom the traditional church has less relevancy. For the unforgiven and the unforgivable. For those on whom the Catholic saints have turned their backs, there is Santa Muerte. This is a place, and Santa Muerte is a saint that accepts everybody. Death to my enemies written on a votive candle. Let's face it, we've all prayed for that at one point or another. Tepito is a poor neighborhood for sure, and a tough one. A center of commerce, both above board and not.
¡Esos que están filmando!
But perhaps a breakfast beverage first. A michelada. One giant beer with lemon, chili powder, salt, and Maggi sauce.
It's a sizable morning beverage.
My companion, blogger, and chronicler of the city, Jorge Pedro.
Wow, a whole season of The Walking Dead for 25 cents.
You want to buy something? Tepito's got it. Looking for some cheap underwear? Pirated copies of Man vs. Food seasons 1 through 5? This is where you find them.
So this all seems very wholesome. I mean, you know, where could I buy a gun, some heroin, and a prostitute? I was looking forward to that.
Let's say that Tepito has many layers.
Right.
And we are in the surface.
Okay.
We are among movies, clothing, families. But I don't think it's as easy as to be candid to ask, where can I get a gun? Probably they will kill you if you ask that. You know San Juditas? San Juditas, no?
Patron saint of
hopeless cases.
Ah, lost causes.
It's become very popular in the last years.
A lot of good smells here, man. Yeah, a lot of good-looking food.
My happy place is somewhere in here. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, we already hear migas.
Beautiful.
La güera.
Wherever there's bones and guts simmering in broth, chances are I'll be happy. Writer, sociologist, and lifelong resident of Tepito, Alfonso Hernandez apparently feels the same way.
So this is supposed to be a bad neighborhood. This is the best. I love this neighborhood.
¿Se da cuenta que no?
Bueno, tiene fama de ser el barrio de las almas.
It is known for being the Lost Souls neighborhood. It is called Ángeles neighborhood, like angels being there. But in Tepito, there are no angels, but lost souls.
What's the saying?
Comer bien,
eat well,
coger fuerte, enseñarle los huevos al amor.
And showing los huevos to the death.
Show your balls to the devil or to the
death?
On the menu, migas. The base comes from boiling cracked ham bones to release the marrow, to which garlic, onion, cascabel peppers, and epazote is added. Thickened with stale bread and leftover tortillas.
You got nothing, you make something really awesome out of nothing.
The grandmothers had the creativity to taking advantage of the bones of the pigs, and now it's a gourmet dish.
Any great old culture where there's poverty, there's something like this. Yeah, by the way, if you're watching this, after you do this, you really got to wash your hands before you touch your dick. Okay? That's a rookie mistake, going to take a piss right after.
She's asking you if you liked the migas, if you enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's good. Delicious. So these guys have been open for 65 years.
All the members of the crew are relative.
Is there hope for social change in this country?
Lamentablemente,
unfortunately, Mexico has become the Tepito of the world. Tepito is still the synthesis of the Mexican.
Not a lot of upward mobility here. The rich get richer, the poor get ground slowly under the wheel. Eduardo Garcia has hacked his way up the ladder to become chef, owner of the city's hottest restaurant.
I grew up in the States. I was a migrant worker picking fruits and vegetables as a kid. My parents didn't earn a lot of money, so I decided to work rather than go to school.
The restaurant business, as I well know, ain't no picnic. And in Mexico City, it's particularly rough.
Mexico has a reputation where we all know that the country is run by corrupt politics. You have to stand up for what you believe. If you don't, people will run you over. You won't last a minute. I don't let people bully me around.
Garcia runs Maximo Bistro with his wife, Gabriela. Here's the kind of extra helping of crap you gotta deal with if you run the hottest restaurant in Mexico City. In 2013, the spoiled daughter of the head of Mexico's Consumer Protection Agency walks in and demands a table when there's, unsurprisingly, no table available. When Garcia says, sorry, no can do, she pulls a you know who I am and then calls daddy and gets the health inspectors in to shut the place down.
So your other customers basically started taking pictures of them with their cell phones?
Next thing you know, we have the media outside, and this is Friday.
Right.
Sunday morning, we're front page of one of the most important newspapers in Mexico.
Well, it was very embarrassing to the government.
And it should be.
Because they got caught doing what they do all the time. But if you were not the hottest restaurant in town, if you were just running a cantina, you know, a few blocks away,
I would have been.
They would have closed you down, and that's that.
Right now, a defiant, young, creative generation of Mexican chefs like Eduardo are performing some of the most exciting new cooking anywhere on earth. A mixing of the very old and traditional with the very new.
So you went to Le Bourdain?
As a kid, yes. One of the jokes throughout the whole time that I worked is, how old are you? I'm 18. You've been 18 for 3 years. Those are abalone from Baja. I told you I love butter. I use it even for some Mexican dishes, and then just some roasted chile serrano just to give it a nice little kick for me.
They're finished with lemon and, of course, brown butter.
Beautiful. Mmm. Very delicious. Very Mexican, very French. Brown butter, it's awesome. Makes everything better.
Of course. I think the most important thing about Mexican cuisine in general, if it's traditional, it's the ingredients.
Confit of suckling pig topped with grandma's salsa, an instant classic.
How about it? No, you do it like the Mexican way. Pick it up and go.
Wow, pretty hard to imagine anything better than that. Yeah, you're stuck with this dish forever, man.
Forever.
That I'm gonna be like Mick Jagger, 50 years from now, singing Satisfaction. There's no getting away from it, man. This is so good. This is a classic.
But even now, with all his success, Garcia is still fighting a struggle most Mexicans are all too familiar with.
What happened that day happens every day. And the promise always is, we're gonna shut you down, you don't know who I am. And for me, I'd rather close my restaurant than live like that. If you close my restaurant, I will go across the street, I will go to another state, or I will go to another country, and I still will make a good restaurant.
Under former President Felipe Calderon, Mexico launched a concerted war on drugs, ostensibly against the notorious and seemingly untouchable cartels. Absolutely no one can say with any credibility, by the way, that Mexico's war, or our trillion-dollar war,
Just say no.
has had any effect in diminishing the flow of drugs into our country. One very brave journalist has uncovered exactly how deep the rot of corruption and dirty money has penetrated into every level of Mexican institutions.
My grandmother is from Oaxaca, so how we used to drink the mezcal is never with lemon, it's with orange.
It was not what a lot of people wanted to hear, much less see published. Today, Anabel Hernandez, author of the groundbreaking expose Los Señores del Narco, lives under guard in a secret location. The threat, very, very real and very explicit.
Do you think there was ever a minute when the Calderon war on drugs,
Yeah.
was it ever genuine?
No, who really started the war against the drug cartels was Vicente Fox. Felipe Calderon just followed that instruction, but he didn't really do anything new. He just did it worse. Since the beginning, the plan of the government was protect the Sinaloa cartel and fight against the enemies of the Sinaloa cartel.
Of the 7 major Mexican cartels, the Sinaloa cartel is considered the most powerful, with the farthest reaching and most pervasive tentacles extending deep into every corner of government, banking, and private industry. Its rivals, the Tijuana cartel, the Gulf cartel, the Juarez cartel, the Beltran-Leyva, La Familia Michoacana, and the particularly murderous Los Zetas. The cartels are responsible for importing roughly 3/4 of all illegal narcotics to America.
In your work, you've uncovered what had to be some very embarrassing and incriminating associations and connections between very high elected officials, the presidents and entire administrations, and acts of incredible criminality. How did that change your life?
Well, when I started to make this investigation on 2005, and I really understand that it would be very dangerous, I have to say that it wasn't really a surprise for me what happened after I published my book. What I didn't expect is that the threats came from the federal government.
Anabel says that one of her sources warned her that the biggest threat was from within, that one of the most highly placed, most senior law enforcement officials in Mexico had ordered her killed.
Because in my book, I put his name and also show some documents that proves that he was involved. He was in the payroll of the Sinaloa cartel.
What happened to this man?
Right now, he's very happy drinking rum, I think, building many enterprises, fake enterprises, laundry, his money.
To me, the weak link are the bankers. A banker who launders money. He's got a family, he's got a reputation, he gives money to charity, his neighbors think he's great, his kids think he's wonderful. He's got something to lose. So I wouldn't be prosecuting drug dealers, I'd be prosecuting bankers.
The name of my book is Los Señores del Narco, because Los Señores del Narco are not only El Chapo Guzmán and the leaders of these cartels. No! Los Señores del Narco are also these. The politicians and bankers and the businessmen. The people have to know who are these people, name by name.
You've been a journalist for how long? Since
20 years.
20 years. Your father was killed, kidnapped and killed in 2000?
My father was a businessman. In that year, many gangs used to kidnap the businessman just for money. So when we went to the police and asked them to investigate, they said, well, if you pay us, we will make the investigation. So as family, we decide to pay because you cannot buy the justice. Since that, I really try to fight against corruption. That's why I'm doing what I do. Because I think that corruption is the worst problem in Mexico. The drug cartels are maybe the worst face of that problem, but the problem in the deep is the corruption. The corruption is the mother of all our problems in Mexico.
It should be pointed out that 88 journalists, how many journalists have been killed in this country?
90 now.
90 journalists now have been killed or disappeared over the last few years.
Yeah.
Here, you can kill a journalist and get away with it. Why are you still here?
I have lost many things in my life. My father was the most important person in my life. I already lost everything. I don't have any life anymore. I don't have a social life. I don't have a sentimental life. I don't have anything. I just have my work and my family. And my work of journalist is everything for me. I really believe that good journalists can change the world. I have received many offers to go outside to France, to Sweden, and other countries. I don't want to leave. It's my choice. My choice is fight.
I came to Oaxaca for mezcal. I like mezcal. More and more these days. And this guy, Ron Cooper, finds and sells some of the best mezcal in the world. We're at the Zapotec ruins of Monte Alban.
In pre-conquest Mexico, there were gods and goddesses of intoxication and ecstasy. The touch of a lover, the smell of a flower, the aha of an idea, all had gods and goddesses that took responsibility for those things.
All of your mezcals come from different villages, and
Yes.
only that village.
And only one maker in that village. We call our stuff single village mezcal because most mezcals are made with a blend of different villages all put together. No one goes home and has a cocktail in these Indian villages. They wait until there's a special occasion. Every birth, death, confirmation, baptism, there's a fiesta. A wedding is 8 days. You invite 200 people. You feed them breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You have a band every day. And then they really consume. Don't drink yet. For Mother Earth and our ancestors. And then you say, Stigi Bayo.
Stigi Bayo. That's extraordinary. Back in the day, it was cheap stuff with a worm in it, and there were rumors that if you ate the worm, you'd start tripping, that there was a hallucinogenic component to mezcal. Now, is there a particular kind of a high? Is this an enlightening high? Is this a good high?
The high is humorous. You have these funny thoughts dancing around the back of your head.
Happy, witty drunk.
Yes.
In Oaxaca, ancient indigenous traditions and ingredients define not only the mezcal, but also the food.
One of the main reasons people visit our city is to eat.
This is Alejandro Ruiz Olmedo, one of Mexico's best chefs. He started cooking young. When he was 12, his mother died, and it fell on him to raise and feed his 5 siblings.
But this is what we call tasajo.
Today, he draws much of his inspiration from Oaxaca's central market.
Probably America's most beloved food is what they think is Mexican food.
Yes.
And I think most Americans' view of Mexican food is like beans, fried tortilla, melted cheese, and some chicken.
Yes.
In fact, particularly when we're talking about Oaxaca, this is a deep, really sophisticated cuisine.
That's correct. Oaxaca has these different microclimates all over our territory, and that gives us this enormous amount of spices, products, fruit, chilies.
Like 500,000 varieties of corn, something like
Yes,
that.
correct.
Right? I mean, this is really where the good shit grows.
Ya estamos aquí. This is stands of barbacoa, and this lady here, it's always making like the best.
Oh, tender.
Yes, tender, tasty.
Man, greens and crunch.
Cabbage and cilantro. Buen provecho.
Oh, unbelievably good. Just so tasty.
And they're gonna give us some consomme.
Man, deep. It's good. All right, I'll finish this. This is just too damn good.
People have this barbecue, especially on Sundays. It's a tradition to have barbacoa.
Just so tasty.
All this pasillo is full of chiles, no? People think that Mexican food has to be necessarily spicy because of the chiles we use. And we go for flavors, not for the spiciness.
What most people miss is how really deep and really sophisticated the sauces here can be. Like Lyon is to France.
Yes.
Oaxaca is to Mexico in my experience.
You're right.
You know?
Also,
Really?
to my experience.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not kissing your ass here. I was just in Lyon.
This is Vicky's place. She's been cooking up traditional Oaxacan dishes in the market for 30 years.
Whoa, that's awesome. When he's cooking the egg right on the camal. Oh, man. So the guy working the camal, first of all, a lot of the camal you see now are metal. That's old school, super old school. That's the way they did back in Zapotec times, man.
Yes, correct.
On the clay camal.
Yes.
And I mean, I'm looking up there, he's doing our tortillas.
Yes.
And he's doing, it's one of my favorite things, the zucchini flowers with the string cheese. Oh, that's so pretty to see.
Olmedo's cooking, his focus, his passion have very old, very deep roots.
My parents were farmers in a small village like mine. Since you are 6, 8, 7, you have a role to develop in the family.
Right.
So my role was to water the chile plantation, the tomato plantation, to milk the cows, and help my mom while she was making tortillas like that. She would give me directions and telling me, okay, roast the chiles, roast the tomatoes. I tell you how to prepare molcajete salsa. So that was at the beginning of my profession,
Right.
cooking, learning from the knowledge of how a tomato should taste like when you cut it directly from the plant.
The way it should taste.
That's
old
right.
school. Oh, man. Happy.
This is what you should do. Try the egg first, like this.
All right. I'll just grab a hunk. Here we
Yes. And then put salsa.
go. Yeah. I haven't been anywhere in Mexico where the cooking is better than here.
This is a way to preserve our culture through our food.
The quiet little town of Teotitlán del Valle is about 15 miles outside of Oaxaca. A town where the arts, crafts, and traditions of the pre-Hispanic Mexico are celebrated and packaged for consumption. Abigail Mendoza and her sister Rufina are Zapotecan, original people from Mexico before the Spanish, before the Aztecs. This is her restaurant, where Abigail has been grinding corn by hand, making masa and moles like this, the ridiculously faithful, time-consuming, difficult, traditional way she was taught to make these things, and the way she's been making them since she was 6 years old. Look at her hands, by the way. Small, surprisingly delicate, given all the hard work, all the pushing, kneading, grinding, stone against stone over the years. Then look at her forearms, the power there. It's impressive and beautiful.
Yeah.
Every time you enter a house in Oaxaca, especially in the small villages, they always offer you a shot of mezcal.
So good.
Següesa, a mole and chicken dish. This mole sauce, like a lot of the real old-school moles made by masters like Abigail, uses 35 different types of chile peppers and takes more than 2 weeks to make.
Do you think that until recently, until guys like you, that Mexicans were not looking back at their own food culture, they were looking elsewhere? What was going on?
We were conquered. We were also a culture that was conquered first by the Aztecs, and then we were conquered by the Spaniards. So we were always told that everything that was good and excellent has to be imported.
Right.
And what we had here, it was just not good.
Right.
Another Zapotecan classic, chile agua, a simpler dish of cow and pork brains cooked with chilies, tomatoes, and yerba santa.
As a cook, the main thing I learned was to develop a little bit my cuisine here. There was this space where nobody tried to innovate. Still using the same techniques, the same ingredients, the same flavors, herbs, etc. But, you know, developing a little bit. Muchas gracias. Muy amable, gracias.
También muy prehispánico.
I mean, that's as old school as it gets. This is super ancient.
A finer dish than this one you cannot have. This is something that you do not find anywhere else in Mexico.
A quiet night in the Zócalo, the central square of Oaxaca. But even tonight, there's plenty of evidence of the struggle, the discontent boiling just under the surface. The graffiti and painting of this street artist, who goes by the name Yesca, captures that spirit of Oaxacan protest.
The Last Supper, for sure.
It's a Last Supper, but Mexican Last Supper.
Who are these people?
It's the most powerful people in Mexico, people that is driving Mexico. This is Peña Nieto, the president right now.
Mm-hmm.
This is Felipe Calderón,
Right.
the last president.
The last president.
And that guy is like the economy guy,
Right.
who is moving the economy in
Mhm.
Mexico. And this is the army. This is a prostitute. It's represent because they are like prostitutes.
Right.
You know?
And
In middle, this is
Jesus.
the narco traffic.
Ah, the
so,
middle.
yeah, he's like the god in Mexico, you know? Because he is like over.
all of it.
Yeah.
So this is the way Mexico works.
Yeah. For me, the most problem in Mexico is the corruption.
Mexico can be a dangerous place for journalists, for politicians, for police. Is it a dangerous place for artists?
Yeah, I think so, yeah, because if you nor agree with the government, you are like enemy.
In 1936, the town of Cuernavaca, 50 miles from Mexico City, was visited by Malcolm Lowry, a tormented, self-loathing, brilliant, and hopelessly alcoholic author. His life work, Under the Volcano, was set here. It is widely believed to be one of the great novels of the 20th century. Lowry saw symbolism and evil everywhere here. In the deep barrancas, the looming volcano that towered overhead. Writer, poet Javier Sicilia, one of Cuernavaca's most celebrated residents, has reason to see evil too. On March 28, 2011, narcos kidnapped and murdered his son, Juan Francisco, and 6 other equally blameless innocent victims. Cecilia found himself moved to march to Mexico City to demand an end to the increasingly futile so-called war on drugs that was mindlessly grinding up so many victims in the crossfire and in the margins.
In Under the Volcano, the evil that's coming is fascism, Nazism. What is the heart of the infernal machine today?
Una nueva forma del totalitarismo, que es el dinero y la disputa de los territorios para controlar el dinero tanto por parte del Estado como por parte del crimen organizado, que casi son lo mismo en mi país.
What does he want to say? What does he want people to hear?
¿Qué es lo que quieres que la gente oiga?
Necesitamos detener esta guerra. Es una guerra que nos está matando hijos, hijas, que nos está haciendo perder la democracia, que tiene al país balcanizado y roto, que necesitamos encontrar la paz y la justicia que no tiene este país.
Can he think of one place on earth where the good guys are winning and where you are not ground under the wheels of the machine?
Donde la gente pone por encima la vida humana y la relacionalidad amorosa, ahí está una sociedad, ahí está en el centro del horror, la vida y la paz. Donde hay unos seres que se niegan a aceptar la muerte, se niegan a aceptar que se sigan matando, que sigan arrojando cuerpos en las calles decapitados, donde hay una sociedad que puede decir, está el ser humano por encima de cualquier cosa, ahí está la vida, ahí hay un buen lugar.
Have you written a poem since the death of your son?
No, escribí un último poema cuando supe del asesinato de Juan Francisco, de mi hijo, y con ese cerré mi actividad como poeta que escribe poemas.
As I have come to know in my own life, drugs, even drug addiction, can be a survivable event. Death is not. Death is final.
Good evening, my fellow citizens. This government, as promised, has maintained the closest surveillance of the Soviet military buildup on the island of Cuba.
This is the Cuba I grew up with.
Mankind teeters precariously on the brink of a thermonuclear war.
The missile crisis. Duck and cover. Hide under your desk, kids. Cover yourselves with wet newspaper, because we're all gonna die.
the flames of crisis burn far stronger, fed and fanned by the bitter tirades of Fidel Castro.
And this guy, always in the fatigues, underlining with every appearance that we were two nations in a never-ending state of war.
Today, the United States of America is changing its relationship with the people of Cuba. We will begin to normalize relations between our two countries.
I took a walk through this beautiful world. Felt the cool rain on my shoulder. Found something good in this beautiful world. I felt the rain getting colder. Sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la.
Cuba's been sitting here for, what, 55 years now? Half an hour away. Basically giving the biggest superpower in the world the stiff middle finger.
50-plus years of animosity, embargo, rationing, and Fidel Castro is still hanging on. But recently, there are powerful indications that everything is about to change.
We are at Jaimanita, a little fishing town. This place is called Casa Santi, owned by two brothers that go out and fish every morning and bring fresh seafood.
Okay, humble fishing village, traditional fishing family.
Yes.
We're about to eat sushi. What's going on in this country, man?
Things are changing, Anthony. What can I say? My name is Hugo Cancio. I was born in Cuba. I was in one of Cuba's most prominent schools. When I made a joke about President Fidel Castro, I was a teenager, and the kid that slept on the bunk bed on top of me recorded our conversation, and I was expelled from school. My mom said the only choice is for us to leave Cuba. I'm a businessman. I've lived in Miami for 35 years. It's my home base. I come back and forth to Cuba. I've been coming to Cuba for over 20 years. I mean, Cuba is a communist country in economic transition.
You know, since Raul Castro allowed Cubans to establish more businesses, there are people that are making money. There are people that have created a tremendous amount of wealth.
People with family connections to the States, people tied to the exploding tourist industry, small business owners, taxi drivers, people operating in ever-changing gray areas of what is permissible.
How's it work right now? If you're Cuban, you can sell your property
to another Cuban.
From
Cuba. And that's what's happening right now. A lot of Cuban Americans and a lot of Cubans living abroad are now coming back and through relatives are buying property. Obviously, somebody has touched this building with some kind of investment. It's renovated. It seems to be like a hotel. Somebody bought the building and turned it into a little hotel.
However you feel about the government, however you feel about the last 55 years, there aren't many places in the world that look like this. I mean, it's utterly enchanting.
It's very seductive.
There is no doubt in my mind that somewhere in the offices of like the Four Seasons hotel chain, they're looking at the seafront and thinking, you know, one of these days, you know, and cruise ships, you know, what happens then?
Well, look,
is this inevitable march of progress? Am I being a snob?
No, you're being very realistic, and that's the concern of most Cubans. I wouldn't mind seeing one or two Starbucks around Havana, but I'm hoping that we don't go back to 1958, when the majority of Cuban companies were owned by American corporations. Right. I have got to believe that Cuba want to preserve some of the value that represents, you know, the hearts and soul of the Cuban people.
Last time I was in Havana, a meal at a paladar would have been rice and beans. Now, sushi. a certain sign of impending apocalypse.
That's good.
Yeah. 10 years ago, this restaurant would have never been allowed, not only because private businesses were not allowed, but the external influence that you're seeing. Remember, this is a country where chewing gum or listening to the Beatles were prohibited. I don't think we all need to have Twitter every day. I mean, one of the things I love about coming to Cuba is the fact that I could put my iPhone away. Who cares? Look what we have around us. And I hope that Cubans, as they continue to have access to free information, they will still want to preserve these family times.
Tourists have been coming to Cuba for some time. Predominantly Europeans, many of them men of a certain age looking for, how shall we say, company. But now it looks like Americans looking to live out fantasies of Godfather 2 will soon be able to do so. And it's all still here for them. But there's new stuff, too. This is certainly new. Fábrica de Arte, the hottest spot in Havana. A nightclub, performance space, art gallery, highlighting artists, musicians, and DJs from around the world. Questlove is scheduled to DJ here tomorrow night.
It's like a big bag when all the art can fit inside.
What is going on here? I ask Inti Herrera and Ex Alfonso, two of the young entrepreneurs behind the place.
Nothing like this ever existed before. Did the Government Bureau of Arts help you?
We have, at the beginning, we have subsidies from the Ministry of Culture. Even the building, we asked for the building because it was abandoned for 30 years.
The place is very popular.
Right now, yes.
Who comes here?
It's people that love art, but at the same time it's very diverse.
It attracts a once unthinkable mix of foreigners and locals and enjoys the actual support of the government, without whom, of course, it couldn't exist.
Our chef here, Lisette, is part of the art world, you know, here.
A ceviche of dogfish with pickled vegetables. Loin of pork, pan-seared with yuca, and a riff on a traditional orange sauce with garlic and coriander.
Good.
Very good.
What do you think's going to happen when the door opens and you've got hundreds of thousands of Americans flooding here, looking desperately to spend money on anything Cuban?
I don't know, man. We are a small country, no? We have to adapt to new things, but I think it's a good challenge.
I guess I'm asking, how do you keep it real when you'll all probably be millionaires in a few years?
Us?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
Y no es el objetivo nuestro hacer millonarios.
It's not our goal in life, but that's...
doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. We're gonna have more factories.
More factories.
Es una historia eterna que llena todo el alma.
Havana still looks like you want it to look. Or maybe just how I want it to look.
So romantic sueño sliding into a love in the silence of night.
What was once one of the wealthiest cities in Latin America, left to the elements, left to collapse, or frozen gloriously in time. In fits and starts, Cuba is changing. But it's not sugar or rum or tobacco or casino gambling that is the new god. It's tourism.
All right, so here we're at Chinatown, such as it is. But are there any Chinese left in Havana?
No.
There's a few new Chinese.
Right.
At one point, the Chinese community in Cuba was huge, but they pretty much cleared out after the revolution, as did most of the Russian Jewish emigres who were here. So the state has erected a few quintessentially Chinatown gates, mustered the 14 Chinese people left in Havana to summon their relatives.
For more than 35 years, John Lee Anderson has been reporting from conflict zones such as Syria, Lebanon, Libya, Iraq, and Afghanistan.
I lied about my age and traveled around Africa. When I was 13, I told people I was 26.
In the early 1990s, while researching a biography of Che Guevara, he and his family moved to Cuba and ended up staying for 3 years.
You lived here during the special period, which was not so special. That was the bad times.
That was the
when
bad time.
The Russians had pulled out, Soviets all done.
The economy went like this.
Completely
90%, it just tanked.
Cuba lost 80% of its import goods, which led to widespread hunger, malnutrition, and a nosedive for the already difficult quality of life on the island.
There was one place where we could buy food, which was a Soviet-style place with food that was flown in, quite bad food. Under Fidel's rule, that's the way it was. Bless him.
It's like a cargo cult version of Chinese food here. Dumplings. A Szechuan chicken dish that's about as Szechuan as, well, I am.
What's going to happen? What's next?
The uptick in tourism just after the December 17th announcement, the surprise announcement by Raul and Obama, in which they said, we've decided to make friends again. The surge in tourism and American interest in Cuba is like this. You now have an island where every room is for rent because you can make $30 or $40 a day. That's more than a state employee makes in 3 months.
There will be wealthy hipsters, women in tiny black dresses drinking ironic riffs on the mojito in a lobby of the spanking new W Hotel with oons, oons, oons in the background.
Yeah.
And that's within 5 years.
Yeah, I would say so.
Will every Cuban have an inalienable right to free medical care and education at that time?
That's what they're worried about. The last time I was here, which was in 2013, I counted 8 to 10 homeless, garbage-eating people in the street. And I thought, wow, I've never seen that before in Cuba. That's something the old Cuba, the socialist Cuba that could look after all of its citizens, would never have allowed. It's allowing it now. This period we're here in, it's the lull before it all hits. The train is coming. It's either going to roar by and they're going to be able to jump on and go with it, or it's going to derail and it'll be a mess. All of it's possible.
You see me? Pregúntale si quiere probar el arroz para que me diga cómo está.
Yeah, my mom is asking me if you would like to taste the rice.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Like a lot of Cubans, Yosemi Rodriguez lives in the same working-class neighborhood where she was born.
I live with my mom, my sister, and my niece. Of course, I would like to have my own bedroom, but there are people who don't even have a house.
You were a translator, is that correct? And you are now a journalist?
Yeah, well, I've been writing for Havana Times, and then I write also for Diario de Cuba, which is another independent website.
She struggles to eke out a living in an industry where the state firmly controls all media.
What subjects in particular are of interest to you?
The racial issue?
Racial disparity. Now, this is something that the revolution promised to address.
Their main mistake was to state that they had eradicated racism, that just like it could be eradicated just like that. On the street, for instance, policemen, the first people they stop is black people. If you're black, you are a potential criminal.
Her mom, Rosa, prepared a cabbage stew with carrots, tomatoes, and green beans for her, as Yosemi is a rare vegetarian on an island where pork is king.
Oh, fantastic. Look at that.
And for us, pork marinated in garlic, onion, and sour orange.
Please tell your mom it's superb, really excellent.
Mami, sé que está bueno. Está muy bueno, sí.
Thank you.
You have a very highly educated public here, one of the most literate nations on earth.
That's funny. We are highly educated, as you said, but we are behind concerning internet and all that stuff. Most of us have access to only the official media, the official newspaper. If internet comes, and I think the government is trying to delay it, if that comes, many things will change. People who will have access to different points of view. And I don't think our government wants that.
If everything goes well, what will Havana be like? What will this neighborhood be like in 5 years?
You know, having a prosperous society doesn't guarantee that it's the same for everyone. You know, you see these people who have been able to use opportunities to open businesses, to open successful restaurants. Those opportunities are there, but I cannot use them because I don't have money. I don't think it is possible to have a perfect society, but I think it is possible to try. How you like the food?
Oh, it's delicious, really good. Thank you. All Cuba seems waiting for something, for whatever it is that happens next. Today, that's the roar of Detroit's finest, circa 1959 and before, of course. American dream machines tricked out, babied, pampered, jury-rigged, or simply held together with duct tape and baling wire. Nice. What's under the hood?
Motores americanos V8 cilindros.
V8 American engines. We buy spares, we bring spares from America.
Lo único que pensamos nosotros, el 90% de la semana es en nuestros carros.
All we think about through the week is our machines, our V8 engines, you know. Car racing in Cuba, they love it here as much as they love baseball.
Wow, that's serious. Los Amigos de Motor are die-hard gearheads, drag racers who for more than 20 years have been defying the law and escaping the grind of daily life by pressing pedal to the metal and hurtling down the highway faster, faster, fast as they can go.
They just find the best part of the day when there is not so much traffic. You get hundreds and hundreds of people on both sides of the road.
Now, before, it was absolutely illegal.
It's always been illegal. It's only the last couple of weeks that we are going to get sponsorship from the Ministry of Sports.
Everything is changing. It's entirely possible that soon you'll be able to order any part, any car in the world. You can have it tomorrow. What would it be?
Corvette.
Corvette. Which year?
¿De qué año?
De bueno. 2015,
2016. Ok, vamos entonces a hacerlo, Víctor. Cierre calle y carro y seguridad para todo el mundo. Vamos.
Listo. Listo.
This piece, a lunar picnic, is only to be seen at night. The grills are painted with this fluorescent painting. It's very surrealistic. It's a weird sensation. It's like make you hungry somehow.
Along with his creative partner, Marco Castillo, Dago Rodriguez is half of Los Carpinteros, an artistic entity whose work is shown and collected all over the world.
Every single project is a different thing. You have a different technology to fabricate and to develop.
Los Carpinteros have managed to stay in the government's good graces by wryly using irony to make their points. In the brutally competitive and capricious contemporary art world outside of Cuba, they are stars. They make a lot of money, but they always return home to Havana.
Looks like we'll be eating well.
Perfecto.
Tonight, it's a party in Dago's backyard.
Cheers.
Kelvis Ochoa has made his much-loved pig's head soup with pumpkin, corn, peppers, and sweet potatoes, cassava, and plantain.
I saw somebody's house. It was just an ordinary home, but they'd created their own fast food franchise and made it look as if it was part of a chain. It was like, you know, Mr. Burger or something like this.
This place can be a paradise for fast food, no?
I hope they don't come here soon.
Yeah, well, this is my biggest fear, is that there will be a big glass box of a W hotel and start seeing Starbucks and Victoria's Secret and, you know, all of the people who make every place look the same. It would be awful.
Yeah, but we have a 50-year lack of money.
Right.
This is a big problem. The people will freak out with money when they have the money here.
Of course, but I mean, I think if there's a $200 million hotel project that's sustainable, that preserves the facade of the city, that will get approved first before anything super American per se, you know.
Wow, whoa, what's he cooking over there?
Can't forget the whole roasted pig. A few years back, a pretty unthinkable luxury for just about everybody.
Oh, wow, soup.
Wow.
Everything is biological.
Organic,
They have no money. They have no
Yes,
money
for yes.
Not the pesticides and the hormones yet.
Ooh, wow.
And tamales steamed in the broth from the pig's head soup.
Life is good.
Yeah, it is.
Por tu encanto, María Elena, dueña de mi corazón, yo te canto un sucuzuco en luna llena. María Elena, yeah, ay, ay, mira cómo suena. Vamos a cantarle una conga a la linda bella María Canción. Yeah, yeah, lele. Por tu encanto, María Elena, dueña de mi corazón. María Elena, dime toda la verdad. María Elena, tú eres mi problema en la tierra y en la eternidad. María Elena, la constante. María Elena, dime todo. Y dale voz, mamá, y dale voz.
I think our culture is so strong that it's gonna take a lot of tourists and a lot of boats. How do you say?
Cruise ships.
Cruise ships. Yeah. It's gonna take a lot of cruise ships to dissolve these ingredients. We're always like this, with or without tourists.
María Elena, la constante buena. María Elena, dime toda la verdad.
This is a typical street of this neighborhood. Houses of wood, houses of concrete. The street is not in good condition. Here was the bus station. It's not a bus station anymore. Now it's a building, it's a monument of the past.
Mantilla is a suburb of Havana, home to one of Cuba's most celebrated writers.
Mi nombre es Leonardo Padura, soy escritor y estamos en la casa donde he vivido toda mi vida. Existen muchas líneas en la realidad cubana que aparentemente no pueden traspasarse. pero yo creo que sí, que se pueden traspasar o por lo menos se pueden empujar.
Author of the internationally successful Mario Conde detective series, Padura has been able to portray the daily struggles, the absurdities of life in Cuba. It's a delicate dance, and few have been able to replicate it.
You're a hero in the books. Does he live in this neighborhood? Or another neighborhood?
More or less, more or less.
A happy place to grow up? I mean, in this neighborhood?
Yeah. I was totally free.
I notice a lot of people just hanging out. Who lives here?
All kinds of people. Doctors, for example, engineers, workers.
Macambra, champán de barrio.
And people who makes nothing, like that guy.
Right.
He don't make nothing.
How does he live?
Trying to find something to do or something to sell, making a small business.
Cafeteria a la Barbecue is only one example of a booming do-it-yourself service industry. It's a place where you get a lot of bang for your money. Nothing fancy, just delicious.
Gracias.
Fried pork, plantains, and the kind of silky, deeply satisfying beans that dreams are made of.
This is good. Good beans.
Yeah.
You've never had a book blacklisted or banned in Cuba?
Fortunately, no.
Have you been able to say everything that you wanted to say?
I try to be the most honest writer that I can be, and I think that I had said all that I can say. The problem is that we need in Cuba a lot of money because it's very beautiful city, but the people have many problems to live with the space, with the structure of the buildings.
For dessert,
Awesome.
flan, cooked in a cut-down beer can.
Thank you. You're a successful author. You've been around the world. You've traveled during difficult periods of Cuban history. I'm sure you had many opportunities to live in Miami or Barcelona or Los Angeles, and yet you stayed in the same house, the same neighborhood.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I like it. I need to live in Cuba, near to the Cuban people, near to the Cuban language. For me, it's very important.
Yes, the future is here. But the past, too, is everywhere. The buildings, the cars, the gears of the whole system are still largely stuck in time.
Mi nombre es Juana Bacallao, Juana la cubana.
93-year-old Juana Bacallao is very much a part of that past.
Me dedico a mi arte, a cantarle al pueblo toda una vida.
Long before the revolution, she was a shining star at Meyer Lansky's Tropicana, singing for Capone, Luciano. You know the names.
Juana, Juana, cuando me tiro en el carro mío. Y esa es la vida que siempre he tenido con el pueblo. Yo voy al escenario todos los días a las 12 de la noche con mi orquesta.
Mira quién
Cuba siempre ha sido divino. Es una fuente maravillosa de amigos que me quieren todo el pueblo. Mientras que hay salud se canta y eso.
Córdoba, lejana y sola, jaca negra.
Cuba is not Havana. It's a bigger country than you might imagine. And the road to Santiago de Cuba, the country's second largest city, takes you 12 hours on their less than modern highway system. Along the way, you see agrarian Cuba, the country in which most Cubans lived pre-revolution.
Santiago, Santiago, oye Santiago.
Santiago is a poorer city. It's blacker. And unlike Havana, the symbols and faces of the revolution still seem to mean something. These brutalist prefab workers' housing complexes are everywhere here. And at first glance, hell, at second glance, they look like something you'd house animals in. But for many, previously living even poorer, harsher lives in the countryside, these offered something new. Each group of buildings came with a doctor, a school. Still, they look about as grim can be. Yet, Santiago is anything but grim. Siboney Beach is where locals go on the weekend to kick back with family, drink the best rum in Cuba, which means the best rum anywhere, swim, hang with family and friends.
Hola, gentlemen. We will be needing some vasos.
Raymel is our local fixer. Ruben is in the bar business. Sergio rents rooms to the occasional tourist. Everybody getting by, making the adjustment to private enterprise Cuba in their own way.
Until a few years ago, you couldn't rent or sell, right?
No, era diferente. Ya tiene años ya la renta.
A long time ago, it was allowed to rent the house, but no sell and buy.
What kind of fish is this?
Dorado.
It's huge.
It's good.
Fresh-caught dorado and lobster is on the menu.
Do they think this is going to change? I mean, look, we've all been following the news.
Vamos a tener un turismo que nunca hemos tenido. Turismo norteamericano.
Right. Half an hour away. I mean, they can basically take a boat over for lunch. What do you think Americans want?
No sabemos nada.
They have no idea because they know because never touched the American tourists before.
It's looking good now, man. Good rum, cold beer, good fish, good lobster. You'll be needing a blender for pina coladas.
Si no hay máquina, la vamos a hacer con
If they have not machine, they're gonna do it by hand.
Don't put it this way, my friend. You're going to be making a lot of pina coladas. I think you're going to need the machine.
No hay pierna, hay costilla. Fumigando insectos. Y a la music, el académico. No se maten más. TNT, la resistencia. Hace boom, 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 el latido en tu conciencia.
Nighttime is party time, where everybody, it appears, at least from when I was there, hit the streets. Mom, dad, sis, even grandma get, well, crazy. Used to be son and trova that ruled the streets. This was where those musical styles were born, after all, but now it's reggaeton and, of course, hip-hop.
No me mataron ni las balas ni los bobos, yo soy a prueba de todo protección espiritual. La misma plaga sigue siendo quien los mata, tienen la boca muy grande y el cerebro minimal.
Alain Garcia is the leader of the Santiago-based hip-hop trio, TNT, La Resistencia.
We've been making hip-hop for 15 years, which is quite difficult here in Cuba. we've been in jail 3 days once just for make hip hop.
Súbele el volumen, voy a rapear como un loro. Deja lo que fluye, el ritmo habla por sí solo. Este es MC, yo Papa Flow aquí en la tierra. El asesino de los chotas, el perro de todas esas perras. Arrodíllense, muñecas, se lo mando.
Definitely it's a change in Cuba, but I don't think it's because the relation with the United States are getting better. It's because the people just realize we need to change. We still want a kind of society where everyone participates, everyone determines the future of the society.
So, born and bred, Santiago, where the good rum comes from.
Exactly.
So tell me, music business in Santiago. What are you doing?
Music here is more important than the plate of food. When it's carnival, sometimes the people doesn't have money for a proper food, but they got money for like a jar of beer and just enjoying that beer in a place with music.
How much American hip hop do you get here?
We get actually quite a lot. Just my friends. Someone came from outside. That one passed to me and I passed to my friends and that's it. It's hand by hand. In the beginnings, in the 90s, we started making hip hop here. And we get a lot of troubles. Hip hop came from the States. They're like everlasting enemy of the revolution.
Right.
So you're making a music, a protest music.
Right.
So we've been a couple times in jail just for songs.
So now you can make money performing?
Yeah.
You can maybe make money selling...
CDs in the streets. But actually right now, more possibilities are coming. When the opportunity to like promote the music, when the opportunity to have access to internet, free access, I mean.
That's gonna be the biggest thing.
Yeah. If you want to spend your holidays properly in Cuba, just come down to Santiago.
All right.
We got a couple things to show to the world.
Cheers, man.
Cheers, man. Go Santiago.
Hola. Hola. Let's do it. Hi, I'm Tony.
My name is George.
How long have you been driving a taxi?
For more than 20 years.
Mostly Cubans or tourists?
No, tourists, most of them Spanish, Italy, even people from Canada, a lot of Canadian people.
You from Santiago?
Yes, I was born in Santiago. I was saying in Spanish, Santiaguero. I used to live in Russia for 6 years. I studied there.
Really?
Yeah, I was really young, and I really enjoyed it.
Oh, yeah? Because it must be cold there.
No, could you imagine the difference? Cuba, a Russian, snow. First time I saw snow, I sent to my mom a lot of pictures.
Yeah.
Holding snow, throwing snow.
So what were you studying in Russia?
Mechanic engineer.
That's so you went from engineering to taxi driving.
Yes. In 1990, a Russian left us alone. We got in trouble with the economy, so I have to change my job.
So it looks like the embargo might end. You know, a lot of money going to start coming to Cuba.
Oh.
You think it's going to change?
I think that the American businessmen will invest in Cuba, and that will be good for everyone.
How about going back to engineering?
You know, that will depend on how much they will pay.
Right, okay. What next for Cuba? Something is coming. It will come from out there, but also from within Cuba. It's already happening. But what is it? Everybody knows, everybody can feel it. It smells like freedom. But will it be victory?
Prosperity is productivity, not just hard work. You can be very hardworking and still be broke if you are not productive. Your life condition today is an outcome of choices and decisions made in time past. Good choices, bad choices, easier choices, or no choices at all.
I took a walk through this beautiful world. Felt the cool rain on my shoulder. Found something good in this beautiful world. I felt the rain getting colder. Sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la.
Lagos, Nigeria's megacity. One of the most dynamic, unrestrained, and energetic expressions of free market capitalism and do-it-yourself entrepreneurship on the planet.
When you have a place of 20 million people, they have to eat, they have to wear clothes, they have to do all sorts of things. I mean, Lagos is a testimony to the resilience and to the ingenuity of the Nigerian spirit.
Buy, sell, trade, hustle, and claw. Make your own way, any way you can.
Nobody does any one job in this country.
They say you have to have 3 hustles.
Yes. You see people making watches from scraps. There are people who make shoes. I'm wearing something that's made by a Nigerian. I provide my own water. I provide my own power because I have a generator, I have an inverter. There's an energy in Lagos, the hustle and the bustle.
Nigeria, it's your boy MC on this one.
With a ridiculously overburdened infrastructure and a history of egregiously bent leadership, they long ago learned that ain't nobody gonna help you in this war. Pick up a broom, a hammer, buy a taxi or a truck, build a bank or a billion-dollar company, and get to work.
I will push myself, I will do what I need to do, I'll do whatever it takes to take care of myself and my family.
Am I on Victoria Island right now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so this is the promised land.
This is Manhattan.
Victoria Island, the Garden of Dreams, where the winners work and play. There's money in Nigeria, lots of it, mostly from oil, agriculture, and services like banking. Lagos alone is the 5th largest economy in Africa. 9,000 millionaires and billionaires, many of Africa's richest people, live here.
50 years ago, there were 300,000 people in Lagos. There are now
Almost 20 million.
Around 20 million.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of people leaving wherever they were,
Yep.
coming to the big city, looking to get a job, looking to make it big.
Absolutely.
The smartest, the fastest, the best, the brightest, make it over here.
Yep, it's that place. It'll make you or it'll break you, sink or swim.
Sheena Peller owns Quillox, one of Africa's most exclusive nightclubs.
I built the nightclub by myself, my construction company.
Banky Wellington is an artist and businessman.
I'm a record label owner, I'm an actor, I'm a director, I do videos and TV commercials, I'm in advertising, I'm in real estate. I'm training to be a chef.
Why work so hard? I mean, you don't have to hustle. Your life is good, business is good. Why are you doing so many things?
That is just something that is common in Nigeria, you know. There's the eternal Nigerian optimism that tomorrow is going to be better
Where
than
does that
today.
come from? Why are Nigerians so optimistic?
I think that it's born out of necessity. You know, you're either going to make it or you're going to be screwed. You almost don't have a choice. You need to be trying everything possible. I must make it. I must be successful.
Right over there, Victoria Island, that's the Nigerian dream, right? If I just hustle enough, if I figure out a way, I have a master plan, God's help, I'm going to end up over there. It's close. It's really close. How do you get from here to there?
It's impossible. The government and the people in power made poor people perpetually poor.
This is the other Lagos, Makoko, a city within a city.
This community has been in existence for over 100 years.
This used to be a little fishing village.
Yeah. Yes.
People started showing up, no plan, build your own house.
It's a community that has been built not based on government plan. It is an ingenuity of the people.
How many people live here?
The whole waterways.
The whole waterway.
The whole waterways will be about 100,000 people.
Ọkàn tó kú odú ọgbọ̀n ẹ̀rìn ẹ bá délé mi o. Ẹ kí bàbá mi fún mi. Ẹ bá délé mi o. Ẹ kí yeye mi fún mi. Ẹ bá délé mi o. Ẹ bá mi kọ́mọ lọ́gbọ̀n nílé ìṣẹ́rí.
It's a fully functioning community. I've seen barbershops, restaurants, groceries, hotels,
hospital, private schools.
Self-made, self-run, self-policing, independent of everything. It exists because it has to.
I mean, there's electricity, there's the water, all of this you provide, yes?
Yes, we provide.
Edauto Agbeniji is a musician and activist.
This community started from nothing. Now it's booming and the government is coming to seize it.
They want to get you out, right?
Yes.
They like to build hotels.
Yes.
Yami Mesu, the son of a neighborhood leader.
But they've been forced to stop.
No, it's not. They're not stopping. We've been able to halt them. 2-3 weeks ago, there was another community on the other side of Lagos. On the island, was also demolished.
They just come and demolish.
The people living here, their source of livelihood depends on fishing. They are fisher people. So if you take them to the mainland, it's like taking the fish out of water.
Out of water. You can't survive. You can't survive. You can't survive.
What do we got here?
Okay, this is called moyo.
Moyo.
We eat it with this cassava flake.
Mm-hmm.
We call it eba.
All right.
And here we call it gali.
That looks good. Good. Delicious. All the children I see
Yeah.
go to school. What will they do? Will they stay here and take up the family business, or are they going to move on?
Well, some will grow up to become accountants, they'll become professionals. But what would a lawyer do? What would an accountant do when there is no food? Most of the fishes that have been sold to the rich men in government were actually taken from this village.
Right.
We need people that do fishing, do farming.
But you're going to need lawyers.
Definitely.
You're going to need...
Everybody needs everybody.
To do well in business, don't just be religious, be hardworking and be full of ideas. You need all these to birth a real miracle.
The Computer Village.
Yes, this is Computer Village. It's your tech hub. They sell everything here. Mobile phones, computers, any kind of digital equipment you're looking for, this is where to find it. It's said to be a $2 billion market.
Public money is generated in Lagos not so much by oil, but by the free market, a Wild West free-for-all of private enterprise.
It grew organically, not by government intervention.
It just happened.
It just happened. Everything is cramped into this small ecosystem. You have one small store, somebody selling mobile phones right in it, and in front of him you have another guy who's selling applications for the phones, a repair guy, he's right there, and it works. That's the amazing thing about it.
Tunji Andrews is a journalist, radio host, and an expert on the Nigerian economy.
The guys who fascinate me are these kids sitting there with phones all opened up. Like, if I want my iPhone repaired in New York, I have to go to the Apple store, I gotta wait online, I gotta say goodbye to my phone for a while. But here, they know how to take apart my iPhone, fix it, and put it back together.
This is how the Computer Village ecosystem works, right? A young boy trying to make a better life for himself finds his way to Lagos, and one of his brothers, his uncles, is working here, and then he starts to learn how to repair mobile phones, right?
Right.
And sometimes I tend to think they do it with trial and error. So your phone might be just a practice.
Right.
Yeah.
But they get there eventually.
They get there eventually. And that's the success story of almost all the people you see here. Most of them came into this particular market with nothing. Okay, this is Stella's kitchen.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna get some food.
Exactly.
Pounded yam is the ubiquitous starch of Nigerian cuisine. Here served with egusi soup, a stew of goat meat, melon seeds, fish stock, and chilies.
This is very, very good. So I've heard this market described as the perfect market. Now, what does that mean?
Right here, you can find on the same street about 20 people doing exactly the same thing. So you go to the first guy and you say, hey, I want to repair my phone. He says, okay, I can do it for you at 5,000 naira. Now, all you have to do is look across the road and find somebody who can do exactly the same thing. And he knows that, right? So he starts to think to himself, I better give him the best price I can possibly give him
Right.
so that I can get his market.
Completely unregulated as far as prices.
Completely unregulated.
So it's really the free market at its purest.
Exactly. Lagos has been able to grow and expand its borders, and that comes from the sweat of people on the street.
Right.
Once government interferes in private activity, more often than not, they make it more complex, and they move it towards extinction.
Coconut. That's coconut.
A lot of people are outside the tax net, so
Right.
the state government has to be very ingenious in trying to get taxes.
Right. Who really runs the streets? The de facto front line of law and order are area boys.
The government tries to get people on the street, like the foot soldiers.
An area boys crew levels street taxes on, well, everything. Reporting to their regional boss, a king of boys.
This is our boss. This is our youth leader.
Taxis, buses, any target of opportunity pays.
You don't depend on government, fine, but you're running your own business.
Right.
So you pay a bribe, because that's the only way to get things done. Every person seems to be tainted a little.
Police, politicians, business leaders, everybody gets their piece of the action. It's a daily fact of life in Lagos.
This is a big oil-rich country. Why doesn't it look like Dubai?
Well, I hate to be on this show and talk Nigeria down. You know what it is? Because you hear all these things all the time. So yes, there is corruption. It is about corruption. It's about the fact that the resources that are supposed to be used for people aren't being used for people.
Kadaria Ahmed is a progressive journalist, editor, and TV host who moderates the presidential debates.
Years of military rule meant that people were brutalized. There was a fight against thinking.
There was an anti-intellectual movement where
Absolutely.
you were punished for...
Shamed.
For
Yes.
reading, for having an education, for aspiring to those
So
things.
yeah, you saw a decline in education that continued for 30 years. The biggest obstacle in this country is the political class. Because what we've had, in Nigeria is, if you lose elections, you then jump to the other party and you win elections. And then if you lose, you go back to this other party. So it's the same people. They're going to fight tooth and nail to stay in office and to keep the system the way it is.
Pepper soup is the food of the night and dark places. It burns. It burns real good.
Delicious. This is a very IT-savvy country. Nigerian internet scammers are world-renowned now.
They're a tiny minority, I must tell you.
It may not be a legitimate enterprise, but you've got some very smart, hardworking people.
They're very talented. Imagine if they were all well-educated, if they had access to finance. I believe if you're a black person, whether you're African or you're African-American, you're never going to get any respect unless there's a successful black nation.
It is unwise to hold other people, your employer, or even the government accountable for your success.
That is the only way people are going to respect you.
You must do it
Yourself.
Queen Elizabeth came to Nigeria in 1959. The 33 million people of England's most prosperous African colony were ready for independence.
A friend of mine sends me a text and says, are you aware of Nigerian psych rock of the 70s?
Yeah, there was a war in the late 60s. That caused a whole shift in the sound because before the war was highlight. And after the war, it was rock and all sorts of sounds.
mind-blowing, like amazing stuff.
This was a game changer.
It's as if everybody took acid at the same time.
It was less the acid and more, let's just freak out.
These new sounds, mutations on funk, jazz, and rock, marked an explosive change in Nigerian culture.
How did it do when it came out?
It was wildfire.
Really? Was it?
It was a massive hit.
Kemi Castro is a collector and aficionado.
This is really where it started from. Blow. They had a very trippy song, which I'll play for you.
Yeah, let's hear it. This is freaky.
That shift in music had to do a lot with the war.
Nigeria's rebel eastern state, the Republic of Biafra, declared its independence.
That music was needed to translate the darkness.
Soldiers of the breakaway province suffered heavy casualties and ultimate defeat. 1,000 Biafrans a day died of starvation.
The music was a defiant middle finger to war, to corruption, and repressive military rule.
You know how military dictators try and control everything.
But of all the music of the time, nothing and nobody took it directly to the people in such explicitly confrontational terms as Afrobeat and its architect, Fela Kuti.
The government were giving Fela a hard time because he was protesting by name specific things. I mean, they identified him as an existential threat, and he was. People would show up at the shrine, like, what's he going to say? What's he mad about today?
Fela was an African superstar, a loud, persistent, and unwavering voice of opposition and resistance.
People protesting, but they didn't name names. But Fela would name names and say, you know, you're the...
For one decade, Fela's voice was the only voice here, opposing the dictators. And he paid a very high price. His house was burned. He was stopped from playing.
Fela died in 1997 of AIDS after a social life that could be best described as complicated. He married 27 wives in one day, for instance, but he left behind an enormous legacy and a family, including 2 internationally celebrated musicians in their own right, Femi and Seun Kuti.
Like they jump from like what I was from. It was a liar. That was a liar.
Because of Fela, we are able to voice our feelings today.
If things are not right, you can't just gloss over it. There is no reason why this country cannot be 10 times better.
Daughter Yenny runs this place, the New Africa Shrine.
We have more money, we have more oil, but we have bad leaders.
Both a musical venue and political pulpit, with a vital position at the epicenter of Nigerian music.
So you drink beer?
Especially when Anthony is drinking beer, I'm drinking beer too.
How can you say because he's drinking beer, you're drinking beer?
I'm a fan.
Of him drinking beer?
No, of him. No, I'm a fan of beer too, but you know, he's drinking beer, I'm drinking beer.
You grew up at your dad's compound, and I know at one point he wanted you to become an area boy, and he thought that would be good street cred.
That's to put it kind of mild. He just wanted me to be, like, from the streets.
We've been running into area boards constantly through this week, and I kind of want to know how the structure works.
If you wanted to go for election, for instance, you will need to see all the area boys. You'll have to give a lot of money for him to get all his gang members to vote for you. And if you do a good job in dealing with this, you probably would win.
That's not quite democracy, though, is it?
No, it's not. Nigeria is not really a democratic state.
Struggle music, struggle sounds, struggle people, struggle now. Struggle music, struggle sound, struggle people, struggle now. Struggle music, struggle sound.
What is going on in Africa today for me, I think, is a perverse kind of hopelessness. Working for a system that is oppressing you, and you know it's oppressing you, but you've given up that there's nothing I can do about it.
I mean, is that what you've seen? Because honestly,
Yeah.
I've never been in a country where everybody are working so hard at something.
They're hustling.
They're hustling. Look, I've been to the DRC, to Goma and Kisangani, and those were not hopeful places.
Yeah, but Nigeria is the same way as DRC in the north, huh? Because we have the Boko Haram insurgency, people are being killed, but nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to act as if it's as serious as, because Nigeria, we play the game. We are the kings of the game. We were so proud when Nigeria arrived in Kenya for the African Summit because we brought the most amount of private jets. You understand? This is their mentality. They are all elitist. You know, they have yachts. You know, in a country where 90% live in poverty.
It's self-esteem.
Self-esteem?
Yes. That's, I see
It's
that
about what you own.
I see
that.
No,
I don't think your
see.
self-esteem is about what you can buy.
Excuse
it should
me,
not be tied
it's not
about
what he
what
said.
you can afford.
As much as Nigeria is bad, there is hope. When I grew up, we were like caged in. We couldn't sit here like this. The police will come here and beat everybody up. A generation will come where they will say, enough is enough. Let's take back our lives.
Femi Kuti for president.
Don't listen to him.
FKFP, Niger resistance.
Struggle sound like the weapon of the future. Struggle sound like the weapon of the future.
It is the melody of the angels of death. Do not be afraid.
The Hausa are the largest tribal group in Nigeria. Known originally as cattlemen, they have become powerful politically as well. This is Dembe boxing, a very old and very brutal fighting art, deeply ingrained in Hausa traditions, particularly among the butcher class. It is a way for tough young men to earn a few bucks.
We are African man!
Prove themselves and break up the grim routine of their daily lives.
All Hausa versus Hausa.
Yeah, Hausa versus Hausa.
You hit with one hand.
Yeah, the other one is to block.
you to the Hausa community, Agege. Sitting beside you is the Emir of Agege.
You are welcome to our humble palace.
Thank you.
Interreligious and intertribal violence has been a fact of life for years in Nigeria. There are over 300 tribes, and tens of thousands have died during such conflicts. In Lagos, some are trying to rewrite that narrative. The neighborhood of Agege is a melting pot of different tribes and religious groups.
This was originally a Yoruba area, yes?
Yes.
But the Hausa people have been living here for a very, very
Yes,
long
for a
time,
long time.
cooperating very...
154 years ago.
There are intermarriages in between us and them. So that is why there are a lot of understanding.
Masa, rice cakes made from Nigerian sticky rice, sugar, and potash, a mineral-rich salt.
This is fura. It's made from millet and milk.
It's more like a yogurt, a little slightly sour.
Yes.
Oh, that's great.
This is one of the surprising foods. It's also made of beans.
This is all beans?
Yes.
Danwake, high-protein bean flour dumplings served with tomatoes, onions, and a peppery sauce.
Delicious.
The moringa.
And moringa salad, made from the leaves of the zogala tree and said to have medicinal properties. Kuli-kuli powder is a garnish or condiment made from ground peanuts.
What do you see the future of this area and your people?
Anything relies on education. We promote both Western and Arabic knowledge. The whole Africa or even the whole world is represented in Lagos, so we have to work together. The Prophet of Islam, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he lived with Christians and Jews peacefully without any problem. We believe if there is no peace, there will be no progress. You cannot go to mosques, you cannot go to church, you cannot go to school, you cannot go to work.
We love Lagos, we love peace. And we pray to Almighty Allah to continue living in peace. God bless Lagos. God bless Nigeria.
Good cooking takes time. As more and more Lagosian men and women enter the workforce, fewer and fewer cook the old way. Long, low and slow preparations that can take hours.
The Lagos upbeat style makes it impossible for you to cook everything at home. So you go, you buy from the street.
So who blogs about food here?
We all do. We all blog
All
about.
of
Yeah.
Atim, her mom, Iku, and friend Oz are all hard workers, holding down multiple jobs between them. But they hang on to their fierce love of food and cooking.
Who were your readers?
Primarily Nigerians.
Homesick Nigerians also, I would think, in this stage.
Particularly homesick. Yeah. But then people that are married to Nigerians that want to learn the cuisine.
These days, one often eats quickly at a place like this. Yakoyo, serving traditional Nigerian dishes made the way they should be made.
This is called ewedu. It's jute leaf.
Ewedu is a soup from the Yoruba tribe. Crayfish, chilies, locust beans, and jute leaves.
This is good.
Have you had jollof rice?
It's rice cooked with...
Tomato sauce. Spiced tomato sauce. Yeah. It's almost like Spanish red rice.
Jollof rice, a staple across West Africa. Country of origin? Don't get into that issue. It's contentious. All I can tell you is it's delicious.
Now, who runs these businesses?
You walk in and you see an old lady sitting by the corner. Yeah. Her eyes are darting. Yeah. You know, she's checking, she's counting tables, you know. Has the girl brought back my money? Yeah. So she sits there to control her money.
In the back, you see a guy cooking big batches to refill.
Yeah. Okay. This is pounded yam.
Of course. This I've seen.
And this is amala.
Pounded and cooked, kind of like this.
No.
This is yam, raw, sliced, ground into a flour, and then cooked into a meal. A bit like grits.
Yes. It's about what you want, how you want to combine it.
Thank you. So you don't tilt your glass when you're pouring there?
I do, I'm just lazy. Man, you guys are harsh.
No.
I'm gonna be reading about myself on your blog. He's an animal at the table. Food here is really, really good.
We're seeing quite a bit of evolution going on. We're not all sit-at-home moms anymore. Not many people want to pound yam. She certainly does not want to pound yam. And I'm sure when she's getting married, one of her gifts to her husband's house would not be a mortar and a pestle.
Unlike 20 or 30 years ago.
It would be a food processor, most likely.
Right.
And personally, I think maybe women my generation might have failed people like her by not passing things on. But now, thanks to food bloggers, the younger ladies have
an avenue
to get this information without depending on their mom.
How much interest in food is there these days? More?
More. Nigerians are big on meat.
Yeah.
So when you see that we have a few vegan chefs, people.
Wow, vegans.
Yes. in Nigeria, I think that shows you just how much people are finding their niches.
Yeah. But that's for a certain social class. The bulk of the people still, they don't have access to the internet. They don't care.
Yeah, that's
the guy just wants to fill his tummy for the day, So yeah, food is changing, but it's not a revolution yet.
Kids with no education. Now they're fixing iPhones.
And imagine if they were all well educated.
They say that where there's a will, there's a way. And there is plenty of will in Nigeria. Find a niche, create a business, build a home, a school, a community, or look beyond to creating a new society. Andela, co-founded by Ayanolawa Aboyele and run in Nigeria by Seni Suleiman, is a rigorous training program that teaches coders and engineers with the goal of creating no less than a continent-wide ecosystem of high-value software developers.
My mom had a mobile shop, something like what's in Computer Village, and that's where I grew up. She'll sell mobile phones, they'll fix it there, and she just used to run that.
I tried looking for a job, but the jobs I got, I'm like, no, I don't want to be a salesperson, I don't want to be a secretary. So that's why I got to the programming.
Shalom and Blessing are trainees in the program, people who will someday rewrite the way Africa works.
As you can see, there are a lot of issues in Nigeria today. The average Nigerian is struggling to just food, water, clothing, shelter. We all believe that this will change, and we all believe that we'll change that. In the US, for every software developer that's looking for a job, there are 5 openings, which means there's a massive opportunity to get these awesome people who are really smart and really driven to be ready to take on Africa's challenges.
But that's what's special about this place. Most people are kind of resigned to the reality that they have. We're creating an alternate reality where there's always going to be power for you to do your work.
Africa, it should be stressed, is home to 7 of the 10 fastest-growing internet populations in the world, with a huge, young, and mostly untapped labor pool of eager and ambitious people.
The impact in very short period of time is incredible. Before we started, people would rarely hire African developers, and now they can.
Many of us have been products of multinational experiences. So I grew up in Nigeria, spent time in Paris, went to the US, and eventually I came back home. We're all connected. We know what's happening around the world. And you ask yourself, if that's happening literally just a few hours by plane away from here, why is it not happening here? But technology is going to change this continent.
There is no other place in the world where you have the opportunity to build the future from scratch.
It's for me and you to run for revolution now. Revolution now. Revolution now.
Where will Lagos be in 10 years? Or 20? Change is inevitable. The problem's enormous. But the desire, the hope is there. To change not just Nigeria, but the world.
We've got all the conditions for a revolution.
The revolution must be televised. The revolution must be televised. Radio revolution. Television revolution.
Don't just build a CV, build a life. Be better in real life than on paper.
New York City during the 1970s was a beautiful, ravaged slag. Impoverished and neglected after suffering from decades of abuse and battery. She stunk of sewage, sex, rotting fish, and day-old diapers. She leaked from every pore. We were howling with delight, laughing like lunatics in the madhouse that was New York City. Thrilled to be rubbing up against the freaks and other outcasts who had all decided to run to Land's End and scream their bloody heads off.
I took a walk through this beautiful world. Felt the cool rain on my shoulder. Found something good in this beautiful world. I felt the rain getting colder. Sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la.
Nothing but a bunch of crackhead, dope fiends, and motherfuckers.
This is a show about a very special place, a very special time, and some very special people. So much happened, so much began on New York's Lower East Side. In the New York City of the 70s, nearly bankrupt, riddled with corruption, the Lower East Side, particularly Alphabet City, was left to fend for itself. Huge swaths of it abandoned, ruined, or simply empty. Much of it became an open-air supermarket for drugs, whole blocks taken over by organized drug gangs. Rents were cheap, and the neighborhood started to attract a newer, highly energized and creative group of people who wanted to make things. Music, poetry, movies, and art. It seemed at the time everybody was a star, and for a while at least, that it was a golden time. But it was dangerous. You lived down here, you had to be tough and talented, and often very quick. Now, things are different. Very different.
Everybody together. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Pick those feet up 6 inches and hold. Bring that arm over. Pin the wrist. Let's go. Is everybody clear? Yeah. I can't hear you. Yeah. Okay, on 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's go. So, I mean, this is pretty much some of the last remnants of what the Lower East Side kind of used to be like, you know? Good old school, no elevator.
So you didn't live in this building?
No, this wasn't the building I lived in. This is a squat, though, that actually became legal. I was actually in that building right there. When I lived in it, it was, you know, we had no windows, no front doors. You know, you'd find a door in the street, you'd put it up and chain it up yourself, you know. No running water. I used to bathe in the fire hydrant in front of the building, and I used to sleep with my pit bull so rats wouldn't get too close to me at night, right. You know. My main problem growing up down here was that I lived on a gang block.
Right.
The gang on my block was called the Hitmen. And, you know, they were no joke, right? And I remember they would be hanging out on the stoop on the church across the street, smoking dust, all of them with their golf clubs and 007 knives, and everybody'd be listening to, of all things, Kraftwerk.
Right.
They'd be out there screaming, "We're gonna kill the next that comes out of that building," and I'm laying there thinking, "Oh, I gotta go to school tomorrow, man." I was never a violent person. You know, Christ, I was raised by hippies. But I was thrown into a crazy environment where I had no choice but to fight my way through it. And it did turn me into a bit of a problem as a teenager, you know?
I would guess. Wait a minute, I don't have to guess. I know. First time I saw you, you were famously that 12-year-old drummer in the Stimulators. Your aunt was in the band.
Yeah. That was the only reason we were allowed to play at most of the clubs, is because I had a relative who was basically my legal guardian. But, you know, as a parent, it definitely wasn't an appropriate place to bring up your kids, you know?
You came here first as a writer, as a poet. New York, in your mind, was where the writer's life was?
Yeah, well, it was just the place that had the most stimulation.
Was music even in the back of your head, or was poetry and writing?
My model was Dylan Thomas there when I was a teenager, you know, so being a drunken womanizer, that was my ambition.
Woke up in your own lifetime, opened up the paper, and realized there's like 1 million kids in Britain dressing like me and cutting their hair like me. And you have this inadvertent tectonic effect on kids all over the world.
It wasn't inadvertent, but it was indirect. I mean, I wanted to have that effect. Other bands who responded to the way I was doing things got famous. So it ended up having this huge impact and influence. When I first saw a picture of the Sex Pistols, it was like, I just had to laugh.
That's a charitable interpretation of events. Malcolm McLaren came to New York and saw the Boydoids and went back and built a boy band and said, you're going to dress like that guy.
Yeah, I don't really look at it that way.
Look at it?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, ideas are free. I never resented that, but it was funny and strange.
Cheap rent brought a lot of people together. It wasn't just living spaces were cheap. There were venues where you could put whatever it was you did out there. Where you...
CBGBs didn't exist until we created it. I mean, we went and proposed that we be the house band there.
The Trinity, this next number is called I Belong to the Blank Generation. 1, 2, 3.
Do we over-romanticize that period? Was it special?
I think the creation of the mythology of the 70s kind of began about in the mid-90s. I can see why people who weren't there wish they were there, but it goes against all my instincts to think that way, just because the idea is we didn't like what things were, so we decided to change them.
Have you ever considered writing a dishy memoir? I mean, my God, it would be 800 pages long.
You know why? Because so many people are still alive.
I mean, people love you.
Yeah. They have to say that. How can you say something mean about somebody who might be mean back at you?
It's an industry. Are you kidding me?
What was it like the first time you saw Iggy? And I didn't see him. I heard the music from down the hall. I mean, I thought, this is the rock and roll I always wanted to hear. Something that was this fierce, and yet you could sense there was a tune there.
When I bought Funhouse in high school, I was immediately ostracized.
Yeah.
This was defining music, and normal people didn't like it.
The Ramones met because they were 4 outcasts in a high school with 5,000 people who liked Funhouse.
Right.
Okay? They had it all figured out that they would sell as many records as the great record sellers would sell. And in a few years, they would have so much money that they would retire and never have to work again.
Right.
That's what. They had to stay on the road for another
25 years.
Yes. Do you know where the greatest financial success has come from? Hey Ho, Let's Go.
Right.
Sung in football and soccer stadiums around the world. The Ramones estates are gathering in more money from 5 seconds than they ever made in the... Is that the measure of greatness or eternity? It's one of them.
So many people died. So many people didn't get recognized.
Yeah.
Richard Hill's still living in the same apartment he lived in 40 years ago.
Who likes to move in New York? He got a good deal. The neighborhood got all better around him, you know. Iggy was supposed to be the one who didn't make it most of all. And he's still there, the most dangerous. God sends us these signs that there are miracles. Don't give up hope. What you believe is beautiful probably is, but not everyone will know it in time.
How hard was it to, if you're coming to New York, a section of New York that's completely broke, you are broke, you're going to be an artist, and not just art, but fairly confrontational. How committed do you have to be to do that, particularly at that time?
I think that
And contrarily, it hasn't been that hard. I feel like I've been very fortunate to have got to stay alive here. So, and I have everything I need. Look around us. It's a wonderful amusement park of good and bad ideas all happening at once. You know how people immigrate here to start a new life and to dream big? I felt like I needed to do that as well, just like the way the people did at the turn of the century. You moved to New York to immigrate to a new land, to start a new life. And that's really what the Lower East Side is all about.
Who thrilled you back then? Who was doing stuff that you just thought, just holy shit, this is really incredible and inspiring?
Well, gosh, luckily, my friends that I was working with were very inspiring. I loved Joe Coleman's work.
The Lower East Side at that time was a destination for me. There was something, that compelled me, to just be there. And I would paint it. Squeeze in.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. Oh, yes, you were telling me about this guy.
Yeah. And here, if you want to use this.
It's beautiful.
All the paintings are novels, so it's a dense story, and the more that you look, the more that you learn. And it's in non-linear time, like you're exploring, at your own pace, whatever you want to look at. And someone else might start in a different place, and, it might tell a different story.
The performance art, at what point? You came to paint, or did you come to paint?
No, I came to paint, but the paintings were like implosions, where I was studying the world around me and myself inside, and the performances became literal explosions. I learned violence from my old man, so I was angry. When your house is on fire, you don't read poetry and you don't, sing a folk song. You gotta scream.
I missed all the great art of the time. I came for heroin, I came for music. Other than that, I didn't live here. But, man, a lot of people didn't make it. And I remember, I guess, around 1980, it was like, something is happening and no one knows what it is.
You mean the AIDS? Yeah. A lot of that time exists in my mind like a dream, like an opium dream. I have these people that I love that would just drop out and fall out. I'm a little bit sad that I wasn't there. I wasn't present, for them because I was too off in this other world. But for me, it was still something of great beauty. See, that time, you have Wall Street tycoons fighting for huge amounts of wealth, and you have bums, fighting over pennies. And it has a primal awe.
this is one of the places, like, Keith Haring and I would love to come here. Jean-Michel would join us, and we would have good meals here on a regular. And it was consistently the exact, you know, it's great when you can go to some place, they have the exact same food. Come on, this is it.
Still the same?
Still exactly the same.
That's encouraging.
Which is great, it's great.
You brought hip-hop culture to a very finite number of people initially on the Lower East Side. Totally changed the world.
Teenagers at that time were doing something interesting, so I wanted to find some people that would listen to these ideas. And that's what led me to the Lower East Side and to connect with...
I guess you met Glenn O'Brien.
Glenn O'Brien, yeah.
Hi, and welcome to TV Party. Fred, why don't you tell us a little bit about what the Holy Land looks like?
I want you to know that I've been to the Holy Land. And the Holy Land is so funky. It's funky, Bella. It's funky.
And through that connection is where I met all these people that listened to all these ideas I had. And that was David Byrne, Chris Stein, and Debbie Harry, and so many amazing people that were just like, yeah, tell me more.
What I think is under-celebrated about you guys in particular was your kindness. You were famously really, really supportive of the people you came up with, your contemporaries and people around you who weren't doing as well. You know, let each other sleep on each other's floors.
Well, there was nothing at stake.
There was nothing at stake. I just think a lot of people had low expectations. You didn't. I mean, you had a plan.
Well,
yes?
no, if we had a plan, we would have made more money and not got so completely fucked over by the industry, as it were.
We had a plan to survive.
Yeah, I mean,
we had a plan to keep going doggedly. And I think the thing that was so attractive about that period was you weren't locked in to one format or one form, you know? It was just everybody was doing everything.
You introduced the entirely revolutionary notion that street art was, in fact, really art.
The painting that we did on the street was coming from a place that pop art came from as well, like popular culture, magazines, advertising, comics. And so some of the first people to buy paintings from me and Jean-Michel was Chris and Debbie from Blondie. And then they also commissioned me, Lee Quinones, and Jean-Michel to do sets and art and participate in their music videos, some of the very first.
Your support and work with Fab Five Freddy, I mean, look at the soundtrack to the whole world now. It's hip-hop. That connection, that crossover there, you got to put considerable muscle and gravitas.
I talked to all these record company guys, and I'd say 98% of them told me it was a fad.
It's not gonna last.
It's gonna go away in 5 years.
And you recorded a song that was hugely...
Well, I will say, you know, like, I'm very proud of the fact that, you know, we created a format that didn't exist in rap until then, and that is that we wrote a song that had a rap in it.
Yeah, those guys were sampling still.
The rapping was all just scratching and sampling, so we, you know, made it viably commercial.
And then, you know, yet another earth-shattering event, Wild Style.
I had an idea that if we could make a movie and show that this rapping, this dancing, and this DJing was one thing. So I was on a trip to Germany not long after the film had aired, and I see these kids breakdancing. I'm like, what the hell's going on? As I got closer, I noticed the moves the kids were doing were the exact same moves that the Rocksteady crew does in Wild Style. But I then knew that this was going to translate globally.
I remember that film opening, and that was a nuclear bomb. And it ended up being like the second highest grossing.
Second to Terms of Endearment, which not many people think about now, but yeah.
And
We
that
did
film,
well.
You gotta love that moment of corporate terror in the film industry when people are looking at the weekend grosses and it's like, what's this? Who is this audience that did not appear in our metrics?
No, it was a great, great experience.
You started making films before you knew how to make films.
Yeah, yeah. The oddball thing about it is knowing so little, who knew that you could hire a casting director? No, it was just like, hey, you play that, you know. Hey,
Which one of our friends are going to be around
exactly.
for this? Yeah.
Are you going to be around next Tuesday? Because you know. I saw myself more as like an experimental filmmaker. You know, like the Godard films, for example. They were inspiring because I could say, I could do that.
I owe a lot to Amos. No, I saw The Foreigner. It was amazing. It was the whole scene was there. Everybody was there. It was
That was a big night.
I got so charged up, and
Yeah,
I was sure I was going to make films.
And your first film was a student film.
NYU Film School made a mistake, so I had a $12,000 budget for my first film.
Which is enormous for the time.
It was huge for me, but the root of the word amateur is the love of a form. And professional means you are doing it for money. I still hope that I consider myself an amateur, for sure.
So yeah, so what do you think now when you walk around the neighborhood? You know, you paid some dues to walk down back in the day, and now it's projectile vomiting frat boys with baseball caps on backwards. Does this give you a sinking feeling, make you angry, or
I
are
wish
you
I
just
would have
resigned?
bought real estate, that's for sure.
The thing that I always tell myself is look at the history of New York City, and it's always about hustling and change. And if you want it to stay the same, man, you got the wrong historical spot, because there used to be a Native American trading post on the tip of Manhattan. It's now Wall Street, you know?
I just don't wanna go out in the streets no more. I just don't wanna go out in the streets no more. Because these people, they give me the creeps anymore. Too many creeps, 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 too many creeps. Yeah.
Want to come in for a minute?
Yeah, sure, I'd love to take a peek. I'd be interested in looking at your dope bags.
Yeah, here's some. This is from early 80s.
Oh, wow. Airmail.
Airmail.
Okay, 12th Street.
Yep.
Might have been a little bit more glasses on for this.
Yeah. It's a treasure.
DOA, I remember.
Poison, you must remember.
Poison, yes, of course. Evidence, you were a Psycho. I remember all of those. Toilet.
Here it is. Classic, right?
You know, you knew you were doing something bad when you bought a product called Toilet and, you know, shot it in your arm. Or, oh man, memories.
Yeah.
I mean, basically, your reputation is the Godfather archivist of all things Lower East Side. You were here pointing your camera at stuff since the early 80s.
I probably have one of the largest inner city photograph collections of anybody. I used to know everybody that went by. And that neighborhood thing is like really important to me. So I photographed the Puerto Ricans, the Dominicans, drag queens from the Pyramid Club, basically the whole hardcore scene in '87. I was more interested like the eccentric people, the unique people.
You were at the Battle of Tompkins Square Park, which is sort of the Gettysburg of the Lower East Side. I remember it had essentially become clogged with nodding junkies,
right.
Homeless people who'd set up a permanent camp.
It was dangerous.
It was genuinely dangerous. When the police came down and decided to clean the park,
The question is, who won?
Well, in the beginning, we did. You know, you have to remember, in 1988, they couldn't close a 10.5-acre square park in the Lower East Side. Not with 450 riot cops, horses, helicopters, they couldn't do it. There were big bonfires in the middle of Avenue A, buses couldn't come down, cars couldn't down, it was stuck.
You were on the news a lot, I remember.
A lot,
you were the most like despised man in.
Yes.
I mean, in NYPD.
Yeah.
You were not their favorite photographer. Let's put it that way.
This went on for 4 years. There were multiple riots, hundreds of arrests. 4 years here, a real solid conflict. Cops eventually got organized.
I remember Tompkins Square. After the police fenced it off, it was, in a lot of people's minds, the end of an era.
And yeah, when they cleared off the drugs, a lot of people think, hey, great, we're now going to have a neighborhood and everything's going to be safe. And then in came the gentrification. So the whole concept of America is being wiped out because you can't pull yourself up by the bootstraps anymore because you can't get in the game. Gentrification has affected the whole city. You have to now make a huge amount of money to be here. You know, they got skyscrapers in Midtown that are sold millions of dollars apartments and nobody lives in, and they're empty.
I live in one of those big empty buildings with absentee owners. Is that all that's going to be left in New York?
Yes. New York, there was always something that brought it back. But once you fill it with the corporate world, it's never going back. So we turned a corner that we will never go back again. And so it's over.
It's over.
It's over.
You know I have my eye on the octopus.
Okay, then I'm going to go straight into the...
Straight. You're gonna go straight. You're finally going straight.
Little
Oh
too
my
late
God,
for that.
I'm impressed. Can you verify exactly what straight means?
Fuck if I know.
No way, honey. Even when you're straight, you're not straight.
Did you expect to make a living from
No,
your art?
Of course not.
I mean, at no point.
No. I just was happy I didn't have to suck dick in an Iranian shoe store. First of all, I thought I would come to New York to do spoken word, but spoken word didn't really exist. So I started Teenage Jesus and the Jerks. I had to really make the most hideous yet precise din I possibly could as a tantrum against all of music and all of society.
There were a lot of freakish, never could have happened at any other time. It seems to me bands who had a ready-made audience. Okay, as you did would have said, you could basically say, I am a rock star.
Well,
I'm
no,
gonna
hey,
dress
wait.
it-
Reel
I am
it
a
back.
star.
No.
And-
First of all, I never said I was a fucking star.
No, but I mean, not by word, but by deed and
I
deportment.
didn't walk into any place thinking I'm a star. I walked in thinking I had shit to do. I wouldn't say I was a catalyst, I'd say I was a cattle prod. To get people to do shows, booking shows, curating shows, it's just what I do. It's like, let's go, let's do it. And when people would ask me to do things, I'd be like, yeah, I want to do it, of course. People were beautiful, doing things because they had to do it, not because of any other grand idea.
So what made you happy back then? I mean, did you have any happy moments?
Happiness was not the goal. Satisfaction was the goal, as it still is. My anger is on a global level. It's never on a personal level. I'm very happy.
All right.
I'm happy to have octopus with you tonight, my dear. When was the last time you had something this good in your mouth? I know you eat well, but this is like...
That's been a while. This is pretty incredible. You were featured prominently in many of the best-known films of the era.
Most of which sucked. I was trying to be a reflection of the reality at the time. This is why I made the films I made, especially with Richard Curtin.
Just drop me off. Where are you taking me anyway?
My house.
So we did this horribly violent film called Fingered that was based on real things that had happened to me. It was not glamorous, it was not pretty, it was offensive, but I'm trying to work out my psychosexual problems because I know I'm not alone in them by making films and speeches that will address the situation that I know other people suffer from.
Okay, this was a film very influential, far beyond the
Well, we didn't think that
imaginings
when we did
at
it.
the time.
We didn't think that when we did it. We didn't give a shit. We just wanted to make a film and get it out there because we had to do something because we were burning and our blood was on fire.
Looking back, though, was it all that? Was it a golden period? Are you nostalgic?
No.
Okay.
I am golden. It's always a golden period for me. Look, we have a golden piece of asparagus. It's golden.
So, do you have any sense of?
No.
Oh, those are the good.
I fucking don't. Those were the bad old days, baby. You try living on pizza and black beauties. You try giving hand jobs under the table to take your first band to Europe. You want to go back to that? You go back to that. How were you living? I know the same. Hand them out.
So no sentimentality, no nostalgia at all.
I'm doing too much shit all the time. I still have shit to do. Why am I boo-hooing when I've just been on tour from October to next October? I'm not stopping.
Youth? Would you want to go through that again, or is it
Youth?
that overrated?
Don't I look good for my age? Shit.
Oh, yeah.
Well, then what do you want from me? To me, I'm not living in the past because I'm living in the present. It's in New York. Get used to it. It has never changed. It had a golden moment here. Probably had a golden moment in the 40s, too. I'm not sure. I wasn't here. Maybe the 60s. We weren't here.
So it was all bullshit?
No, none of it was bullshit. It happens when it happens, and things change, and time is not what it once was, and it isn't anywhere. If you've done one thing, you're living in the past, and that's your glory day. That's your glory day. This is my glory day. I'm here talking to you eating octopus.
I try to make paintings that are so beautiful that I get lost in them while I'm doing them. And you just hope that other people get lost in it the same way.
You know, I have a John Lurie over my bed.
No, you posted about that. Was nice that you posted that. And sometimes, you know, you get these letters and stuff. It's like, your painting saved my life, da-da-da. Yeah. But then sometimes, because I don't have any shows...
Oh, that's great.
It feels pathetic, you know?
Well, this is incredible to me.
What?
You don't have shows.
That's
regularly.
insane, and it's sick, and it's wrong, and I don't even want to complain about it. You complain.
I'm complaining about it.
Yeah, okay.
I am bitter.
Because I'm going to die one day, and they're going to be worth a lot of money.
Right.
How I came to New York is like I was kind of like on this Coltrane thing. I wanted to find God through music. And I started meeting all these amazing people. They were irreverent. The energy was enormous, and it was probably more fun than anybody's ever had in human history for about a year or two. But there was no discipline, which, I mean, I like people who can play their instrument like they just found it on the street, but they can't just do it once. They gotta work on it. I mean, I was a serious saxophone player. I came here as a saxophone player. I had to hide the fact that I
know, right?
I had to hide. I mean, I really did. I would practice for 2 hours every day, but I wouldn't tell people. So, these are eggs, which you could get, you know, at the store. If you live in a good neighborhood, they will even deliver them to your house. And then you take water, which I know you go to all these exotic places, but they used to say that New York had the best water.
That is true.
You think it's still true?
I haven't heard anything to say otherwise.
Do you drink it?
Yeah, I do.
And then you boil them. And then I serve them to you.
Outstanding. I am grateful and honored.
Well, I'm really curious because I've seen your show, and I watch you sit down and you eat like some mouse head soup, and then you go, it's delicious. Just curious to see when you eat the hard-boiled egg if you're going to say this is delicious.
As long as there's not like a half-term chicken fetus in there, which wouldn't be the first time for me, by the way, I'll be thrilled.
I'm not eating this shit. There's a plate.
Thank you. Eggs, the perfect food. Thank you, sir.
Eat that. I don't think I've ever cooked for anybody before.
Well, I'm honored, sir. So looking back, is there a danger of over-romanticizing that place and that time, given the downside and the body count?
I don't know. Does it have to end badly? I mean, I'm glad I survived it. I'm glad I still got my own liver. I'm glad I lived through it. But it's kind of, I don't know how to add that up. I'm sure glad I didn't miss it.
Doesn't pay to try. All the smart boys know why. Doesn't mean I didn't try. I just never know why. Feel so cold and all alone. Baby, you're not at home. And when I'm home, big deal, I'm still alone. You can't put your arm around the memory. You can't put your arm around the memory. You can't put your arm around the memory. Don't try. Don't try. You can't put your arm around the memory. You can't put your arm around the memory. You can't put your arm around the memory. You can't put your arm around the
You didn't say the egg was delicious.
No,
You
you're
did
right.
not.
But I ate 2 of them. Silence
two
is
of
the
them?
highest compliment. Well, just the gnashing of my jaws on
didn't
those
say they were
delicious,
delicious.
delicious eggs.